The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Wanna welcome everybody, yeah, we gotta get it hype. Hey, every week talking wrestling, we get into it. Current events, even guests that we're interviewing. Hosted by Chris, Kid USA, and Nappy Boy. Shout out to Ziggy, put the smack down, you can't ignore. The best you gon' find anywhere online. Tell the competition they about to get clothesline. Hold up, hashtag heels for life. Let's go.
Hello guys, what's going on? This is Mr. Team Bring It coming to you once again for hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast episode 176. I did have my special guest. I think he got logged off, but that's fine. I think he'll be back in here shortly. But before we do that, I need you guys. One more. Before I even say that, happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you mothers out there that break your back to raise, Black and Bama niggas like me, and and all that good shit. So yes, all the flowers and the love go out to each and every one of you mothers out there. And now, what I need you to do for me is, you already know what I'm about to say, okay? All right. Give a thumbs up to this video and comment. I need you to subscribe. Then I need you to hit that notification bell where you get rumors and news from hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast. All right. So, give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so Stonewall, REMSON, he just messaged me. He said he living out in the country, so I guess he said he's gonna go somewhere where he can get a better connection or whatever. So that's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to his because we was going to do an interview with him first, and then we was going to do wrestling talk or whatever. So I'm going to wait for him in a little bit, but in the meantime, everyone, so we're going to catch up on some gossip. We're going to catch up on some shit that's going on right now in professional wrestling. So some people out here. Thomas, what's going on? Brandon, what's going on? I'm not expecting a whole bunch of viewers, on Saturday because everybody's spending time with their mothers, and that's fine. Let me see what's on today's docket. Excuse me. Hold on 1 second. All right. So, matter of fact, this is something that we can talk about right now. So, WrestleMania Backlash is tomorrow. I really wish I could really tell you guys the lineup right now, but unfortunately, I have not been watching Raw. But I'm not going to be a lazy motherfucker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Google.com, and we can go over some of these matches, and we can have a nice little conversation until Stonewall can get here. Okay. All right. So this is the updated WWE WrestleMania Backlash match card. So, all right. So they're going to be in the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. It's going to be tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on the Peacock. So, right now, from what I'm looking at, this pay-per-view is trash. I'm just keeping it real. Right now, there's only like 4 matches that's actually on here. There's 5 matches that's on here. First, it's the SmackDown Women's Championship I Quit match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Now, from my understanding, from where I've been like looking or whatever, people are really not enthused in this match. The best match that they actually had was maybe 4 years ago, I believe, where it was unscheduled. It was actually supposed to be Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, but I guess Becky ended up getting injured by I forgot who she got injured. Oh yeah, she got injured by Nia Jax or whatever. So they changed the match to Charlotte versus Ronda, and Ronda like seriously got her ass whooped in that match. That was probably one of the best matches they had. Now, as far as the one at WrestleMania, that's either here or there. If I don't remember the match, then more than likely I either didn't give a fuck about that match or it was just something else, something. Now we fast forward to 2022 and I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, this should be an entertaining match, but you gotta understand, Ronda Rousey have not been shown. She did not show up in WWE television for almost 2 years because number one, she was pregnant. Number two, she was taking care of her child. And number three, when she came back to the WWE, she did the same shit that she did when she debuted. She still can't promo. She can halfway wrestle. And that's about it. And then you put Charlotte in the mix, bitch. Niggas getting tired. Bitches and niggas getting tired of fucking Charlotte. Charlotte's doing the same bullshit, taking her father's gimmick and talking about, woo, 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 I'm the 13-time, 12-time world champion. And I'm just like, okay, all right. So, girl, are you going to do something? See, this is what happens when you oversaturate your talent. When you put them in the main event over and over and over and over again, this is going to be the end result. And, I mean, people say that, Charlotte is one of the best. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard for her to prove it, especially when she's keep going through the same goddamn opponents. I mean, this is supposed to be, backlash, not like rewind. I mean, it's just, that's mainly how I feel, y'all. Like, I'm trying to be fair about this, and I'm trying to get the WWE the benefit of the doubt. But the issue is that this is backlash. Backlash is after WrestleMania. This is the follow-up, and this is the follow-up that we get. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the shit is really, really pissing me off. Like, for real, this lazy ass fucking booking. And on top of that, I'm gonna tell you guys this. So remember, we were supposed to have a unification match for the tag team titles. That's not happening because of lazy booking. And all of this shit is all around, is evolving all around Roman Reigns. I heard reports that Roman Reigns was injured. I heard that they don't want to put this match on too early. So if you did not want to put this shit on too early, why would you forecast this match to happen right after WrestleMania, but to axe it 1 week before the pay-per-view? This shit is pissing me off. It's making me like I'm trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on with the booking. And then going back to Amber Moon's interview, when she said that there's a lot of dysfunction that goes on behind WWE backstage, now I see what she means. And see, it's not only from a wrestler's point of view, but then also we also see it on screen. We're seeing this continuously. It's like they just don't know what the fuck is going on. So, the next match. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, the Usos versus Drew McIntyre, RK Bro. Honestly, y'all, like, this match is pointless. It's pointless, y'all. I mean, if I wanted to see a 6-man tag, I'll just watch SmackDown on Raw. I mean, Raw, like, what was that? I think it maybe 2 weeks ago. They had a 10-man tag. What? How's this match is going to be different from 2 weeks ago? Can anyone answer? Do anyone care? Is anyone going to waste their time going to like? No, let me see if I can say this a different way. Is anyone going to sit there for 3 motherfucking hours, and you sit there for 3 hours every fucking Monday, and do you think you're gonna actually miss the playoffs just to watch this pay-per-view? I don't think so. Hold on a second. Okay. So we got Stonewall. We will come back to this in a second. Okay. So I'm going to bring on Stonewall REMSON. And we're going to get this interview going. All right. So let me bring on Stonewall. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? Sorry about that earlier.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Well, welcome to the show. So first, what we're gonna do, we are going to do an icebreaker real quick. So we're gonna see, like, first of all, who are you? Like, who are you? What's your name? Where did you come from? Did you come from a different galaxy? Do you have superpowers? Are you a comic book fan? Tell us about you, bro. Tell us.
So my birth name is Steven REMSON. I'm from Virginia, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach area. Mm-hmm. Born in '86. I went to the Marine Corps in 2004, served 10 years. Got out. I was kind of fucked up. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah. I mean, you said it said mature audience only. Go ahead.
After combat deployments in Iraq, I got fucked up. Body was up, was gaining a lot of weight. Got myself back in shape when I got back into boxing and powerlifting. Then eventually moved to Texas in 2020 and found myself training for wrestling. Am I a comic book nerd? 100%. I've been in comic books since I was a kid. That got me into art, comic books, anime, fantasy. I even do Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah.
Wow.
That's dope. Athletic nerd.
That's dope. So how long you been in Texas? Oh, no. You already, okay. So you say you came from Virginia, then you went down to Texas, right?
Yep.
Okay.
2020.
Okay, so so you moved down to Texas recently. This is like 2 weeks ago? Or not 2 weeks ago, but 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yep.
2 years ago? Oh, wow. So how do you like Texas?
I met my wife here, so I like that. But it's cool. It has its ups and downs. Texas is Texas. So, like, all the good things about Texas makes Texas great, but all the bad things about Texas make Texas bad. So that's my best answer for that.
Okay. I will actually elaborate, but I am not here to embarrass you. So
you come across some simple-minded people, and you come across some great-minded people. It just depends on where you at. But I've been around the whole United States and the world, and I felt like that's everywhere. Texas is just big, so a lot more.
Cool. So what got you into wrestling?
I've been in it. Wrestling was my escape when I was a teenager. I was not one of those people that was sitting there watching it with their father or as a little kid or anything like that. I came across it. Actually, I used to hear about it being fake because my dad boxed. I come from a family of fighters and military, so everybody always down wrestling. So I kind of grew up with that ideal anyway. Until I was like 13. And long story short, my mom and dad were divorced. My dad was raising me and my brother. My dad was not doing well off. We was living kind of bad after he got the military. My mom left us broke. But across the street was 2 white boys, and they had a similar kind of living standards. There was 2 brothers, me and my brother. They had a dad raising them like my dad raising them. So I would go across the street, chill with them, and they would watch it. I never paid attention till one day, the summer of 1999, The Rock came on. And it was that epic promo or talk when he pretty much derailed all Billy Gunn's push before I even knew Billy Gunn.
It's funny because we were just talking about the previous.
I had no idea what was going
on. Literally just destroyed Billy Gunn in that. And the funny thing is, he just walked in the ring.
Exactly. Like, when I learned more about it after I got into it, I was like, damn, this is sad that he did this to this man, but he got me into wrestling. And that got me into it, the bravado, that. And then I started watching that, and then being the type of person I am, once I find interest in something, I go far in depth. So by the time I was 15, 16, I was trying to get, this is back before internet was really big and stuff.
Yeah.
I was getting tapes for New Japan. I was getting tapes for other places around that was coming up. I remember I was in the military. I first found about Ring of Honor. I was trying to get I was watching those things, and I just grew from there. So, I mean, I love all types of wrestling. There's some things I'm not a particular fan of, and there's things I more love, but that's how I got into it. I found love for it. It's a competitive thing that you can do. Yeah, the ending's predetermined at times, but it's very competitive, driven. It gives an escape for me, and I just love it.
So, how long you been trained? I know me and you have talked, but the viewers is getting to know you. So we're literally past the icebreaker. Let's just get into your interview. So I've seen your work. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of clips. If you allow me to, I will play the clips on here. Yeah. But how long you been in the business?
So basically, when I decided I wanted to do it, I was almost 325. I was getting ready for a strongman competition, so I was bulking up, and I was like 335 pounds or so. Really like Mark Henry type size. I'm a lot smaller than I was now. I'm still big, but I'm smaller than then. This is 2019. This is like right before the pandemic hit, or end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I went to this place called Hampton Roads Championship Wrestling that was in Norfolk, Virginia. I would never bash that place because it was miscommunication and misunderstanding and me getting opportunity. So I actually had a few matches there, not having no real proper to train. Kind of backing up a little bit. When I first joined the military, I actually was going to a place called Vanguard Championship Wrestling, which is now Virginia Championship Wrestling. I was going there on the weekends in early 2005, but after deployments and field ops, I kind of stopped. So when I picked it back up, I knew how to bump, because in the military, you learn how to do bumps, you know how to rolls. So they kind of just threw me in there, even though I didn't know how to work. So I kind of just got thrown in the fire. I went to class when I could, try to pick it up, but I knew I wanted to learn, and they wasn't really the best teachers there. They had some decent workers that was around there for a while, just getting work, but it wasn't an environment for me to go. I was looking around places. I was hitting up Maryland, and they was like, well, that's too far for you to drive. And I was like, I'm willing to drive it if I do it, but I wasn't getting anywhere, and I was like, F it, everything's closing down. A friend of mine was talking about moving to Texas. I've been there before. And since I do entertainment and music and stuff, it's like, it's a lot of opportunities there. And I knew wrestling is really big in Texas. Matter of fact, during the pandemic, Texas was the only place that still had wrestling going, because it's Texas. But when I went down there, I went to a place I had a tryout at DFW All Pro, run by this guy named Lou Lamont. He used to be, he got trained, he went to WWE multiple times, did a couple of dart matches. Really big guy. He brings in a lot of big people around here. That's one thing I like being in Texas.
Yeah, I think I know. Wasn't he one of the trainers for Tough Enough?
At one point, I think so, yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm bad with names, but that one stands out, most definitely.
When I went there, we did a tryout. I survived the tryout. It whooped my ass. It was a whole lot of work, but I survived it. The issue was he wanted $500 up front. I literally just moved to Texas. I didn't have, all my money was spent to get my house, everything like that. I didn't have that money. So I was going to save up. We stepped in contact. He told me I could try by December. I was like, okay, cool. I was doing that, trying to make ends meet. Then I came across this promotion called MPX, Metro Plus Wrestling. Cool thing about that, that's where people like Ember Moon actually wrestled at before, Keith Lee, Matthew Palmer, her husband.
Wow.
Yeah, so actually, a couple times when I trained her, Ember Moon, while she was still in WWE, would come down. And so I have a clip. I never sent it to you. I can send it to you. I should have sent it to you, but it was a clip of her and Matthew Palmer teaching me how to do a jackhammer. It was kind of cool. But so I went there, and all I had to do was pay $50 for a trial and $100 a month from there. So I did that, and I stayed with them for a while. I had some hiccups and some mental issues come up, and then kids and sickness. So off and on, I wasn't the most consistent training, but I still would say altogether for a year, I did 8 months of training altogether. When we moved to East Texas, because we lived in Fort Worth, Dallas area, we moved to East Texas, like I'm in Diana, like I said, so I'm in the country now. There's this promotion called League of Lions that does, and they've been on since 2013. And I remember seeing some of the guys there, so I went to there and explained to them. And I was going through practice and training, and then one day the head trainer and Chris Preston, also a wrestler, said, "Would you want to work a dark match?" Because he saw how I can move, and as one thing about working in the business, you can train all you want to, but you don't actually start getting real experience. I don't care what anybody says to you, actually get in front of people and start doing the actual shows. So I did it, and then from there, I already knew how I wanted my psychology of how I wanted to be my character, how I want to move everything. It's up there. I was just pretty much being myself, just without restrictions, no humbleness, no anything like that, just attack. When I used to box, wrestle, and anything or football, I always was a very aggressive, assertive person. Like I would talk crap. In real life, I'm nice. I'm smiley. I'm friendly like that. But when I actually get in competition, I don't know why. Like something switches, and I get real aggressive. So that side of me comes out in the ring, and then I like talking crap to people, especially if I know you. I joke around. I have a slick mouth. I'm pretty witty. So it allows me to, so now when I do my promos or I talk, I'm not making anything up. I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm just being myself, which is no restrictions. So when I do the League of Lions, it let me be me, and then surprisingly be myself, got me opportunities other places. Those guys who first start off usually stay with the place that they're actually training at for almost a year before they actually get opportunities. I have wrestled for 5 different promotions since I started. I made my debut in February, and I already wrestled in 5 different promotions.
Really? So you just debuted?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. Now, when you said you were green, I didn't know that you were green, like green the giant, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. That's okay.
I've been lucky because I listen, and because of my age, I have a better idea of psychology, so I catch on and I just get better each time. At least in my opinion, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So even though you mentioned that you said that you're not consistent like that because of like your issues that you were going through. I mean, you were transitioning from Virginia to Texas. So, I mean, I wouldn't really exactly really be hard on yourself. I mean, things happen. I mean, that's life. I mean, me and you have had conversations about that. I just really believe that you do stay consistent, and you do have a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in your promos. I've seen it in your matches as well. But the one thing I do want to ask you is that from being a wrestling fan to now being a wrestler, is your perception about the wrestling business, did that change for you?
100%. My perception on the wrestling business and my perception on fans itself too.
I bet.
100%. It really is. It's not. Some things like now I don't even watch wrestling the same.
Really?
Like my wife laughs at me because now I don't even like watching wrestling with the announcers on. I like just watching it. Like I'll watch old clips. I turn the sound off. I'm watching their cadence. I'm watching the tempo. I'm paying attention to how they're moving. I'm catching botches that people probably don't even think. All right, obviously everybody see the clear out the blue botches. Like, oh yeah, that's a botch. That's simple. But I can see things where, oh yeah, they didn't mean to do that, but they just covered it up, or they went a different way. I can see the switch of how the story's going, and it's teaching me at the same time while me just understanding and just learning, looking. Like some guys I used to think were really that good. I mean, obviously I'm not there yet either, but some guys I used to think were really that good. I realized are not as good as I thought it was. So
really,
yeah. So and it's not even a lot of people's fault. Everybody has their own style. Everybody has different things they're told. That's another thing a lot of people don't understand. Like, so when you go out there and do a match, we have free range to a degree, yes. But nowadays, so many people try to do so much. A booker or somebody will tell you can't do this because this person's doing this, or we want you to only do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some people who got egos, and I can tell that. Like, all right, perfect person to bring up, Brock Lesnar. He's actually become a lot nicer lately, I noticed. But
yeah, I thought that was just a front, like on TV. But yeah, I mean, he's became really entertaining.
But I remember reading stories, hearing it, and I'm also seeing it, and I know point blank, like a lot of times I heard stories from other people that worked in WWE from there, like Fandango and other things like that. I met him before too. He's actually started to be more open. Before, like when he first came back, he wasn't really, he really picked and choose who he wanted to work with or who he wanted to give to. For instance, that famous Dean Ambrose match.
I was just getting ready to say that. So what do you think about that part? Because he made it known that he did not want to work with Dean Ambrose.
He didn't. He wanted to work with Dean Ambrose, which of course makes it hard for Dean Ambrose to do anything because anything Dean Ambrose pitched, he didn't want to do.
Right.
That's how it worked out. Like, not every match is gonna be perfect. Unfortunately, and not every match is gonna be perfect. And hell, sometimes 5-star matches end up being an accident being a 5-star match. It's like, and you can only work as well as the person working with you. So that's pretty much what it is. What Dean Ambrose was talking about, I know he was the most conversational because he was mad about himself, but that's pretty much the simplicity of it. He pitched things that Brock didn't want to do, and Brock didn't want to do that match to begin with. And Brock has enough pull back there, and plus, he's a real life shooter, so it's not really much anybody else gonna do. That's one of those just effed.
So is it easier for you to like be in a ring, or is it like easier like watching it on television? I mean, it's like because you're a wrestler and then also you're a fan, but like I say, I think because talking with some of the wrestlers, they always tell me that, when I interview them, it's like they get upset when fans is overly critical, but they really don't understand that they put in a lot of work in the ring. And now hearing it from you, it's now I'm starting to see like, okay, maybe I should take a couple of bumps before I come on a podcast and, and be overly critical. Do you think that like, podcasters like me should actually go in there, take a bump and see like they kind of experience what you guys go through?
100%. And not even just take a bump. I would say just do 1 month, because a bump, it sucks. We actually got some new guys that showed up a couple weeks ago and they finally took their first bump last week. Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny because I'm thinking about the first time I did it, and one guy's whole life left his body when he finally hit that. So, and it's not even just the bumps. Yeah, the bumps sucks. Those ropes suck. People don't realize those ropes are not fun. Like, they're complete fucking wired. You got some promotions that actually have ropes and those suck, like, because they don't feel the same. But like most ropes are actual wire and they got tape around it, electrical tape. So when you see us hit those ropes, us bouncing them is our momentum throwing our weight into it. And you'll get bruises till your body gets calloused to it.
Really?
So it's just not that. And then, you may not see people like my size Keith Lee's a perfect example, but people my size, Big Show, stuff like that, you may not see them doing flips, things like that, but we have to do that. I'll give you a quick rundown about how a normal, typical, when I was at NPS, a normal, typical day will come in, we'll show up. We show up, we go there, we stretch out, we do forward rolls, back rolls, quarter rolls, handstand into a roll, tiger roll, which is pretty much jump, roll into that, doing the back way, then we run up, we balance, turn, like do a flip handstand on the middle rope, then a handstand on the lower rope, then we jump up over and over the ropes, do a kick flip off the top turnbuckle, run back roll, we start doing our cardio drills, running around, go and hit the ropes, spin back, flipping back and forth. There's a lot of acrobatics and tumbling. Do that whole hour. Then we actually start drilling and doing drills. And then the timing of it, learning how to move. You got to learn how to control your body. So if you don't know how to control your body and control somebody else being with you, that's when you start having issues. So mistakes happen regardless. And, when you get in the heat of the moment, you be sweaty and that's when things happen. But to be able to move fast, make it look very hard and threatening without actually hurting somebody. Because it happens. I got a busted lip. I know I actually knocked somebody out for a couple seconds by accident That's why I don't like doing that many punches, because I still gotta get better at my punching. So I do a lot of clubs. Some guys
I've noticed that.
It's a mental thing. I'm trying to. The last match that I sent you, that's the most punches I ever did. Is the last match I sent you, and me trying to get used to it. And the only reason I did it with him is because he fights too, so we both have an understanding. Like if we hit one of another, there's no tripping about it. So I just need to get over it, because you got somebody like Lance Archer. I have not met him yet, but I know I worked with a lot of guys that do know him, and I've talked to a lot of people, mentors that wrestled with him before he got to AEW. He's one of those guys who will just hit you. Like,
hit you,
he's stiff. Like he does not intentionally hit you to hurt you, but he does not try to hide or pull back anything. Suppose it's my understanding. I never wrestled him. I had never met him. I just go by for some things like that. I guess he's one of those people that he will hit you.
So when they do hit you, I mean, could you tell, are they being personal, or is this more so just...
Sometimes it's a heated moment, sometimes it's personal. If it's personal, it's a receipt. If it's a receipt, then you gotta look back when it happened or why it happened.
So do they like intentionally try to harm you? Like it's like it because like I've heard like horror stories about this, like especially with the what's a New York Jack. Like I ain't going to get into that because that is a totally different story.
New Jack,
New Jack. But from your experience, like, have you ever been in a situation where you literally had to knock somebody out because they were trying to harm you?
No, not yet. I don't think and I don't really think I will be in that situation anytime soon. Mainly because most of the people, I don't know. I'm very respectful to people, and most of the time people respect me. And then usually when they find out I was in the military and I have a fighting background, stuff like that, I kind of get a different look at after that.
Because you're 6'3", right?
No, I'm actually 6 foot. I just sell myself at 6'2" when I'm
okay. Tall. Yeah, you like I'm thinking like when you took that one cat and you grabbed the fuck out of him and like threw him on the wall. Like at first I'm just like, is this nigga like 6'5" or something like that? But
I can't really tall, I guess. I don't know. I heard that before. A lot of people meet me and be like, I thought you was taller. Like, yeah, I'm not. I'm 6 foot.
Okay. Now, have you ever ran into any racism while you've been down in Texas? Or matter of fact, let me just make this an open world. Have you experienced any racism while you've been in the wrestling industry?
Openly racism that I could point blank and say, yeah, that's racist? No. In my mind and seeing how people move and act, yes. Meaning, okay, as Black people, we know people have been raised a certain way or think a certain way or they move a certain way. And they may be saying they're not being racist, but they exclude or include certain things. So pro wrestling is a predominantly white thing. It is. We're look at the history of pro wrestling, period. Like the fact that WWE just now has their 4th Black WWE champion. Not talking about world champion, just Black. AEW finally got Scorpio Sky, which I was very happy about that. Jay Cargill. I mean, I hate talking like this now because we are reaching heights. But I also grew up where if you were Black, you was either getting beaten up or you had a stereotype character. So while I've been here, I've seen a lot of guys that get opportunities, and I never judge them by opportunity because I know people are looking at me with my opportunity and saying, why am I getting these opportunities like I've been in the industry for 2 years and I only just started? Opportunities come, you grab it. So I never hate on that. But I seen guys that I get passed over by, and I know for a fact I was better than, but they was part of that little clique, or I'll be the only person not odd man out, and odd man out meaning color. So I never bring it up because I could be wrong. It's never been openly blatant racism, but in the locker room talks from other Black wrestlers, I hear stories about how the stuff that happened to them, how they would get blackballed about certain shit, or they get typecast in this or expected to be this way. Like most of them want their characters to be this and this and that, or don't want to move it. So I wouldn't say I haven't openly had racism. Somebody call me N-word or did something disrespectful to me because of my color. But I will say subtle movements have been done that I've seen and heard, if that makes sense.
Okay. So with that being said, I have a big issue with wrestlers like Booker T. And I know his brother, like Stevie Ray. I talk to him occasionally. The problem that I see in the wrestling industry with black folks is that I see that they are willing to throw their own culture under the bus. Case in point, Amber Moon. Amber Moon recently went on a podcast. I think it was the Chris Valit show. Yeah, so she recently went on that podcast and she just put her whole heart on the table. And I felt her on that. And I really want to interview her and I really want to go deeper into her story if I ever get the chance to. She stated that there's a lot of miscommunication that goes on. Blatant miscommunication that goes on in the WWE, because there's no way in hell that you're going to sit here, you're going to tell me that you didn't know what was going on and we're all in the same company. So Booker T went on his podcast and said that, well, Amber Moon had all the opportunities in the world and you know, called her by her, I think, indie name, Athena. And he just basically dismissed everything about what she said. He's like, well, I just seen certain parts and, you know, blah, 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 blah. How do you feel when people like Booker T just sit there and just say that, well, I'm just in it for the money, fuck everybody else. But then yet, this is the people that you helped train. And you went through the same hoops and racism. I mean, it was even worse for you and your brother back in the 90s. How do you feel when he like just dismissed our culture like that?
Well, first thing I'm gonna start off by saying that's not just in the wrestling business. That's in the military. That's in corporate.
Oh, really?
Business. That's for some reason. First of all, I don't like the Uncle Tom saying, because a lot of people don't realize Uncle Tom was never how they try to portray Uncle Tom as. That's a whole nother story another day. So I hate that term because this term is wrong. But for some reason you'll find people that get successful and they want to stay their success by throwing other people that look like them under the bus. I mean, by asking them on purpose, but that's their way of trying to stay on top or stay on the good side of some people. I noticed that through most of my adult life. So it's not just pro wrestling. Booker T's case, a lot of things he says I don't agree with. Some things he says I do. When it comes to this particular case, I was actually shocked and surprised.
Really? Why so? How so?
Because for one, him and Athena had a good relationship. At least I thought they did.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, she went to his school.
Yeah, he's the one that her to try out. He got her there. All that. So I was kind of surprised how he said it and what he said about dismissing. The only thing he said that I agree with to a degree was don't burn bridges. That for opportunity going back. That's all that I agree with.
Do you think she did? I
don't think she burned a bridge. It's WWE. You can't burn a bridge. WWE. I mean, look at the fact that Scott Steiner was just got in the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
You can't burn bridges there. I mean, Vince will, until he dies, Vince will be mad and get over it and bring you back. The miscommunication part, what she was talking about, I can believe that 100% because that happens a lot in large areas. So I think that's the downfall of WWE. Honestly, it's hard for me to watch WWE. It's hard for me to watch a lot of TV wrestling besides MLW and NWA. It's because of it's so much, especially WWE. It's so much people in there that's not even in wrestling or know shit about wrestling. Because ever since the late 90s, and they brought in TV writers to try to compete with other shit like that and giving scripts to people. The fact that Vince gets to final say everything, that's cool. But you have 30 people writing for a whole group of people for no reason. They don't know anything about these people, making up stories, sending it up, either getting shot down or sent and changed again. Miscommunication could probably happen. I know the main thing that she was upset was, the two things I know she was upset was her tag team and the clothing stuff. So I can't really see the miscommunication. That could be frustrating, but I think that's like just typical business in WWE. Because even Drew McIntyre literally just came out and had an issue, and even though he's on top, he complained about the issue last year about him doing his old Scottish talk and stories, and there was a miscommunication with his storyline and stuff like that.
You know, at first I thought that he was from. And wait a minute, but ain't he? Wait. Let me just make sure I get this right. Okay, he is from Ireland, correct?
No, he's Scottish, but he's not like the stories he was trying to make him say, like how his old granddaddy raised his sword and all this other shit like that. That's crazy.
Oh, that shit, like, because like the whole Braveheart shit, I'm just like really not digging, bro.
Yeah, that he didn't like that either.
But like sometimes it's like, you know, because a lot of wrestlers have said this, they have had shitty ass gimmicks, but they were able to turn them gimmicks into, like, the shitty gimmicks into pure gold. Not a lot of people actually have that ability to do that.
Yeah, I think Booker T stays on WWE's side, and I could be wrong because we don't know this man 100%. I mean, I know you talked to his brother, so you may know more than me. I can only take it by is he runs his own company, he has his own training school, and he gets money from his own company, plus still gets a check and go for WWE. And the way WWE works, that's a fucking rarity. If you work for WWE, you pretty much can't do anything else wrestling-wise. Like when Ember Moon would come down or anything like that, it had to be a secret. Nobody was allowed to take video, film, or anything like that, because she got caught doing anything outside of WWE wrestling, she would get in trouble. So, I see.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say I see Booker T probably sticking up for a lot of things I don't agree with, speaking about Ember Moon or speaking about anybody else's, because I think he just wants to stay on the good graces of there while he still has that check and still gets his check from his own business. He gets to eat, take it too type thing.
So let's talk about this comment right here from Antonio Hunter. He said bridges can be burnt as long as you generate dollars. So sure. That's a decent comment. So let me ask you this. Amber Moon really technically didn't generate any dollars. So if you didn't generate any dollars, isn't that considered burning a bridge?
I don't really think she burnt a bridge, in my opinion. I really think that people are hyping this whole situation higher than it should have been. One thing I definitely noticed, and hell, it's like anybody that leaves WWE, people are quick to take anything they say and blow it up. If you leave any job that you've been for a while, you're gonna have complaints about. Like, hell, I love the Marine Corps. I wish I could have stayed in longer if it wasn't for my injuries, but I can tell a lot of shit I didn't like. I'm pretty sure as much stuff she complained about, there's a lot of stuff she did like, but that's not what makes news. That's not what's going to, like you said, generate dollars. That generated interest because everybody is, and I blame the fans. I blame fans more than anything. Because
why is that?
Who's going to eat it up more than anybody else?
Especially now? Yeah, fans. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you going into a realm where that's deep right there, because, you know, fans, and I'm gonna ask you about that in a minute, but going back to what you just said about damn, I had a great question for you and it just went out the window. Oh my goodness. Shit. Anyway, damn, I had it and I lost it. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go back to the fans part. Why do you think that fans are so toxic versus 20 years ago? 20 years ago, I mean, you had those fans that, you know, they had their favorites, but, you know, now that you put the internet in the mix, why do you think?
That's it.
The internet?
All right. I use this when we talk about racial relations. I would use this for example.
Okay.
You know how most dumb people would say racism was an issue until so-and-so or Obama was off or something like that. And or why is everybody starting to be racist all of a sudden? Yeah. Or students are now getting stupid. Like, no, all this shit is not new. It's been going on for years. I remember seeing shootings on unarmed black men for years. I remember in New York when I was about 10, this guy in New York got shot 32 goddamn times. The gun had to be reloaded to shoot this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I ain't saying it like that, but a lot of stuff that people don't realize, or internet give people basis to just go ahead and say something about worry about getting hit type thing. So people are allowed to go up there now, get in these chat rooms, say what they want to say, talk how they want to talk. I guarantee you somebody who will see me in my face right now would never call me a bitch or say anything to me right there, but would go on, if I ever get to where I want to be, go on there and say that about me, not knowing me, no knowing me, and know for a fact they would never see me. So I feel like the internet gave people freedom of speech, which we already have, but that freedom of speech has got amplified. So there was always toxic fans. I remember people fighting in fucking high school and middle school, ECW and shit. I remember people really getting a fight over ECW versus WWF, like over the dumbest thing, like who was a better tag team and shit like that. Fighting. I mean, we was kids and dumb. These are the same dumb that they grew up now on the internet chat rooms complaining. So we give people something they enjoy. Like, they get to escape their lives. They live through it. So the same people that argue about wrestling, I see it in the same groups when I go to my comic book nerd groups. Like, they argue about how movies are being done, or this person should do this, or how this storyline was better than this storyline back in 2010. Hell, I remember when the DC rebirth happened after the New 52 died and we did a rebirth. There was an argument about that crap. Like, people want to argue about something and they will make it bigger than what it has to be. I never really feed into that type of negativity, and sometimes I read shit just to laugh.
Right. I hear you. Antonio, he said this. He said racism has always been an issue when Obama got elected as president. The racists, I guess he said the racists got tired of being quiet, and Trump made it so that they could fully embrace it. Do you think that I really don't want to get into politics, but the politics also intertwines to what's going on in the wrestling business? Because earlier you mentioned a good point. You said that the wrestling it's a white industry. So then when we look at what's going on right now, they feel that some black people shouldn't be WWE champion or Impact champion or whatever. But do you think it's really all based on what company you go into? Because there are some companies that do like Impact Wrestling that will make them have a black champion and make it consistent. So do you think that, this racism really all depends on like what company you go into, or do you think that this is just as a whole?
Combination of both. So I'm gonna try not. I know I've been really long-winded in everything I say, so I'm trying.
No, it's cool. I told you this hour's about you.
the first answer your question by saying yes, because something was told to me when I went to this one place called King of Sports, which I love, and I can't wait to go back there again. I get to go back there August 20th. But when I was in the back room, that was like the best locker room talk I got, because I had like different veterans that had been there for a while. One of the guys that I was talking, he's the one that said it. He's actually one of the trainers for Ember Moon's dojo in Denton, Texas. His name is Cedric, Big Ced. And he made up a good point. I never thought about it. Everybody has their own style, and depending where you go, that's what's going to be receptive. Talking about fan wise and promotion. So, i.e., some places fans love seeing high flying. They don't care about how the match goes, as long as they see high flying stuff. Some places people like seeing heels get over all the time. Some people like old school smash mouth wrestling, which is something that I fit more into. So, with that being said, I can also look at, in the past, using that analogy, that I believe some promotions do that. When you look at Impact, think about who's been their champions. Look how they look how they move. They're either really ground-based, hard-hitting. They kind of keep that there. The S division usually got the high flying, and that's been around when it was back to TNA. You look at NWA, it's that old school feel. The fact that they did have a black champion there kind of surprised me, but I feel like they did that on purpose to try to change with times.
Interesting.
That's what I mean. That's what I said about it. Sometimes, some places like TNA, Impact, I feel like it doesn't really matter. Race there. If I had to pick one big promotion, I know Impact's not really considered that much big anymore. It will probably be Impact, because I really feel like they don't care about how you look. It's just about, I think they care about how you look because it's a wrestling. They physically appearances, some of it doesn't matter.
But should the wrestling industry be like that as a whole? Not just in like certain parts?
It's also the person who owns the money. If I have my own brand and own thing like that, I can run it how I want to run it, and I can't really argue with anybody. I mean, a lot of people feel pressured. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I mean, I am a WWE baby. That's what got me in wrestling. I will always go back and look at WWE. I'm not a fan of a lot of their shit now, but I am a WWE baby. I'm never going to deny that. I do personally feel, and I'm glad it happened. Like, for instance, Bobby Lashley, I've always been a fan of him, but these past couple years, I feel like they've been pressured to actually do that.
Now, do you think? I mean, like, honestly, not to cut you off though, but do you think that? I hate to say, I really don't want to bring this up, but you know, your Kofi Kingston's, your Bobby Lashley's. Do you think that the WWE was pressured on doing this because of podcasters like myself been like really constantly poking at the WWE? Like, okay, you had your Caucasians, you had your Latinos, you had all of these groups, but then the ones that have been really supporting you the most, your Black audience, you have literally like swept them under the rug and treat them like third world citizens. But yet you don't give them a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you don't give them a Black world champion. And like, kind of go back to what Ron Simmons said on one of his promos, and I just found this out 3 weeks ago, that he literally put Vince McMahon on the hot seat. I don't know if this was scripted or not. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I know that one. I've seen that before.
But he back then, he really showed his ass. Like, you know what I'm saying, on these promos, and now he just been downgraded to just damn. So
that's back before, you know, they used to give them scripts to actually read. You know, it's like he kind of slowly stopped talking altogether.
Yeah, like I really like, I didn't notice that until like I started seeing a pattern with this. And like it's even worse now, because now that we have the internet, that we can go back in time and we can actually see like a timeline from him just being like just straight niggerish and just not giving a fuck or whatever, to now just saying damn. So do you think that the WWE really wanted him to just shut up about like, you know, him being like the first African American WWE champion?
No, I think Vince wanted him to shut up. Like, it was Vince. And no matter how many people want to say about WWE, like, I give Vince some credit for a lot of things, because I mean, wrestling wouldn't be what wrestling is, or how popular it is if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. But Vince McMahon also is at the age, or been at the age, that he's a negative influence. So it's the 90s. I don't care what nobody says. It's like, if we still evolving, but the 90s, Vince probably was not. Vince was born in what, 1950 something, the 40s, some shit like that.
Probably like in the 1900s.
He was around that many Black people. When he was around Black people, probably wasn't the best experience for Black people, because, you know, during that time frame, white people say what they want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody wants to bring up about Pedro being a champion in WWF before, over like that, but he was a short-lived champion. If you forget about that, it was only for a couple months, when back then people had belts for years. So Pedro being the first Mexican WWF champion don't really mean shit when he only had for a couple months. I.e., like Kofi Kingston having a belt don't mean much nowadays, besides him being a second, because his storylines he had sucked. Bobby Lashley had the best kind of storyline somewhat, but they kind of like this. And in fact, I'm glad they gave him to him, but I feel like he could have had an opportunity, but it wasn't there. Big E's, they just treat him like it was a mid-card belt when he had his. So they give people opportunities, but it's kind of like,
that's
Black
deep,
History Month. Here's your Black History Month. All right, go about your business. Meanwhile, we're teaching the schools that slavery didn't exist. Like, no, like, just it's hard. It's hard. Like, if somebody asked me right now, will I go to WWE? I would say yes, because I have a family. It will pay me money. Will I go there knowing full well that I'm probably gonna get some dumbass character, some type of stereotype shit, and probably would never succeed more than probably, if I get lucky, a tag team? I'm not even going to count Intercontinental or fucking United States, because that shit don't even mean no more either. So that'd be it. But I know that I'll just get a steady paycheck and I can take care of my family. And at the end of the day, that's all they really.
So, ooh, shit. All right, so this is kind of going into, you can make money, but you don't have to be a house nigga at the same time, though. And like,
well, no.
if you,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It was like if I had it my way where I want to be, because I do have a lot of injuries before I even got in the military. Before I got into the wrestling. So so much as you got to talk about seasoned vets, I had a fucked up medical history before I got there. So a lot of shit I'm already in pain with. My ultimate idea is I would love to, cause I love doing personal training, boxing, have my own little training gym, have my own wrestling school, have my own wrestling promotion. But if I had to work anywhere, it will probably be like MLW, something small that still gets a little fanfare, where I can just go do my money, come back, make a little appearance around here, but not be on the road all the time, still spend time with my family. I don't want to be, if it comes, it happens, I would love to. Like, I would love to do a movie one day, but my idea would be the top favorite or the famous wrestler. That's not a big deal to me. I'd rather have my own brand and my own business and my own things of doing it and just use wrestling as a way of doing it. I love wrestling. So if I can make my own wrestling promotion and still wrestle other ways, that would be great. If I get part of MLW and make other ways here and still be my own man and be able to work elsewhere, that'd be great. If I got an opportunity to go to WWE or AEW, yes, I would take it. But the fact that I'm sorry, that guy.
I think this one is for you. Yeah, I think this one was.
I honestly think if we had statistics in front of us, we would find out according to demographic, we financially support wrestling the least. Visiting other people in charge of wrestling promotion probably don't see the up. I don't know. You'd be surprised. I've seen people that I never thought that would watch wrestling. They may not watch it now, but they did watch wrestling at some point.
And then here Carmichael said this. He said that I'd rather choose legacy than a simple paycheck. Look at the blueprint of the Young Bucks. They never went to the WWE except for being a jobber, but they made tons of money. You know, that's a good point.
All right, so here's two things about legacy and money thing. The guy who said that, does he have family?
Who? Here Carmichael?
You don't know the person. Yeah.
No, I know. No, I know him, but like as far as being married, you gonna have to ask him. I don't think so though.
All right, so here's my thing. I used to think the same freaking way. I really did. I was like, well, I don't want to do that because when I was daydreaming about being where I'm at now, where I want to go, so I don't want to do that because I care more about how I care. Like, yeah, that's cool and all, but at the same time, when you actually get in business and then you get told to lose, as me being a bad guy, I lost more matches in these 5 months than I actually won. That's how it's supposed to go. I'm a heel. I'm supposed to lose.
Right.
So I'm losing anyway. I still get my money. Win or lose, I get my money. My family gets to eat. I get to go do what I do, and I get to enjoy what I do. So you have people that go and think that forget this is a business and you have a job to do. Like there's great wrestlers out there that always lose, and you think they suck because they always lose it, but no, they're actually really good. They make their opponent look good, which is their job. Get this person over at work and go about the business. So that legacy thing is kind of hard to go with because if you end up being in a position, no matter where you at, and that's your job is to do this or do that, what does a legacy really matter for a choreographed or a predetermined event? That doesn't really make a difference in that. Now, granted, if you do good and you get yourself over and people actually like you and you build from that, that's great. You have a fantastic legacy. But there's people right here right now that should probably be in the Hall of Fame that nobody would even know of because they weren't in top, but they was always there. Brooklyn Brawler is a person that comes to mind. Fantastic worker. A lot of people don't realize he also was the one who was one of the main teacher for a lot of people we like Edge and Christian, who helped groom Edge to get where he's at, groom The Rock, all like that. But would you say Brooklyn Brawler has a legacy?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Rock, even before the Young Rock show, because I used to be a Rock fan, like I said, so I study everything. The Rock used to put Brooklyn Brawler over a lot. Even his first autobiography, he talked about how much Brooklyn Brawler helped him out. Brooklyn Brawler was a journeyman. He was still he came back from those territory days like Austin, and like one of the last people with territory days. But Brooklyn Brawler was still part of that. He's one of those people that got people over. He's one of those people that worked for everybody, helped them tune up, and he was one of those people in the locker room that people came to their advice. Was he on top? No, he lost. He was a jobber, but he also was a jobber.
So that's why I don't understand. And you're educating me because I did not know none of this shit. I just thought that he was just a full-fledged jobber, and that was basically it. So let's kind of talk about that real quick. So why did WWE why they don't acknowledge that? Literally.
WWE may not doing that, but people who work for WWE or be inside will say stuff or interviews like this you come across people will bring up names. I mean, even though Dolph Ziggler is up there, but he's a good example because for a while Dolph Ziggler was always losing, and Randy Orton without Dolph Ziggler is the best worker there. So fans, as I said, gets this locked in their head of forgetting about it's a business, which is great, because that still lets us know kayfabe is still alive to a degree. If you are saying legacy is more important because you're looking at how the destruction of a character that you personally like is not going the way it works, then you're not understanding the fact that's how it's supposed to. It's a business. It doesn't matter if it's WWE. Jade Cargill, perfect freaking example. Perfect example. First of all, I love that woman. I was a fan of Jade Cargill before I even knew she was in wrestling, because she does. I'm in the whole fitness industry thing like that. Beautiful woman. I seen her do a Storm cosplay one time. I was hooked. Then a couple months, I found out she was training for wrestling. And then the next year, she's AEW.
I did not know that girl that played Storm was Jay. I did not know that. I was like, what the fuck?
She did cosplay.
Yeah. She was going around. She went viral. When she played Storm, I'm just like, wait a minute, that's the same girl? Like, oh my goodness,
she's still great as hell. She still makes a lot of mistakes, but the reason she's on top, look at her. Yeah, that's all it is. Your looks, and it sucks, and that's why I'm been on my dieting shit. I'm about to go back on my another diet. I'm trying to show up. Your looks make a difference. It really does. So. If somebody said they don't like Goldberg, another perfect example. We all know Goldberg can't.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone. But okay, cool.
I'm just saying by example, it's the looks, the intensity, it's intangibles that people don't think about. People go in there and see, and I don't mind it because I used to want to do that too. But could they see somebody who could do 38 backflips off the top rope, balance themselves, and all that person should be a champion, and like. Okay, yes, they're very athletic, but can they talk? Can they tell a story? Can they hold the attention of an audience? Can they make something dramatic? Can they sell and make you believe that you won? There's a lot of things that go into it. Something I'm starting to learn makes sense that a normal fan doesn't pay attention. The Rock, not the best worst wrestler, but he was a good worker. But if you look at The Rock, even though I feel like he shouldn't have sold some things to some people, he made shit look like it hurt. He was sometimes overreacted some things, but his emotion in it. Working is actually putting emotion in it, and that's one thing that's missing in a lot of wrestling. Because, and I'm not even trying to get the whole spot fest thing, but I do believe a lot of people just want to see spot fest and not actually see a match. It's supposed to be whole thing about wrestling. It's supposed to be a competitive match, and it's supposed to be who's trying to win. And people get locked into it because it's cool. Yeah, I remember watching Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and Hardy Boys doing TLC. That was great. The fact that it happens almost every freaking match now in most of these promotions, that's too much. It takes away from it.
But if you got to admit, like TLC, ain't nobody gonna duplicate WrestleMania 17. That was one of the best matches ever.
It is, but I feel like TLC and like ECW kind of ruined a lot of things that's wrong with wrestling, in my opinion, today. Like the guy brought the Young Bucks, perfect for guys. Young Bucks are pretty good workers, but they look at it from an aspect of, I'm just here to have fun. I don't care about making it believable. So I wouldn't say they were jobbers, because Christian, almost anybody who first go to WWE is going to be jobbers. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy was getting their ass whooped for years before they became the Hardy Boys. Did you
see that promo that they did? That they was losing to everybody.
But hell, if people don't think about, Jeff Hardy was on there and got his ass beat by Scott Hall one time. They was in WWE for a long time. Losing. There was like, if you go on Peacock and just look up random fucking matches from the early 90s, they were in there losing. RVD was a jobber in the beginning. When you first get signed somewhere, you are going to lose. You're not going to be, unless they really spent money on you, you're not going to be anywhere. So when people say, Kenny Omega Young Bucks were jobbers, or AJ Styles was there to be a jobber, like, no, they just got there.
Because AJ Styles was a jobber at one point. I mean, I think everybody's a jobber in one point.
I hate the term jobber unless that's what you're supposed to happen. Like, if you get brought on TV and nobody knows who you are, why are you going to win? Unless you're made to win. Like Braun Strowman, when he got on there, they were putting money behind him. That's why they had him beat little random people. But if, let's say, I got put on TV against Bobby Lashley, do you really think I'm going to win?
No.
Okay.
Because
But
you're
then
not
if
well
I-
established.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So Young Bucks weren't jobbers. They just nobody knew who the hell they were. And the Young Bucks actually got asked to go there. They turned them down. So that question about saying Young Bucks are jobbers there, no. Young Bucks just didn't want to go back there, and they did their own thing.
Yeah, and then
Which
on
worked
top
out.
of that, they were offered like a lot of money. Like
Yeah.
they were
So-
offered that, and they were like going to get shot to the moon, but they didn't want to go to the WWE. They just didn't feel that they belong in the WWE system. And a lot of
I don't
like,
think they
wrestlers
did.
feel that way.
And the system of WWE, like, the only reason I think I probably do well in the WWE system is because I was in the military. It's a very strict thing. When you go, I remember hearing stories from the guys who went to the Performance Center. When you go there, you wake up at a certain time, you go out at a certain time, you eat at a certain time, you train. It's 2 times a day. Everything, you got to ask permission to do shit.
Right.
That's like boot camp.
Mhm, mhm,
Most people can't make boot camp, so most people can't even fathom try to go to the Performance Center doing that.
mhm.
So you do everything the WWE way. And if you want to make it there, you can't get mad because that's what WWE wants you to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of think they lost a lot of spice when they used to put their stuff out, but
Now this
yes,
is
that's true.
actually
That's 100% fucking facts.
now.
And
Why did they do that though? Like my
Because-
nigga, like this right here, this timer right here. Let's talk about that. Why did
That's-
they like Sweet Chin Music? You cannot duplicate Sweet Chin Music. Not everybody
People-
can do that damn move.
That's why everybody got mad and control your narrative, and he did that on purpose to make people mad, and it worked. But so
Do you agree with that?
people eliminate try to be what they see and grew up with. I
Mhm.
remember I used to I wanted to do the rock bottom. I wanted to do a swanton bomb. You do all this stuff. Like, remember you created your character and they had all finishing moves from regular moves.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
what happens. The DDT itself used to be a finishing move, and I think it should still be a fucking finishing move. Like, if it's not, it should be a full finish. Okay. Here's why. Okay, here's the thing about it. Here's what I'm trying to break it down to you. It's
Okay.
about believability. Yes, we all know that shit's predetermined. The whole point of it was make you believe for a brief second. Like, you remember you asked that question, like, do some people actually hit you and you have come across like that?
Mhm.
We want people to think that. We want people to believe that. We want people, like, when that time Brock Lesnar went crazy on Randy Orton and Chris Jericho thought he was really did on purpose and kind of wasn't. That's the shit we want. So if I hit you with DDT, when you know damn well if I hit your head in the middle of this concrete in real life, you are not getting back up.
No.
But people, that's why I think it should be a real move. A power driver should not be a simple move. That should be a finisher. Sweet Chin Music, yeah, that was iconic, but then everybody want to do super kicks. It's like everybody wants to do swanton bombs, like everybody want to do frog splashes, everybody wants to do it now. And now since everybody wants to do it, that's why you always see it. And the thing is, back in the day, and that's why I liked about King of Sports and I like some other promotions, if you went somewhere and somebody had a finish or a move that they were known for, you wasn't allowed to do it at all.
Yeah,
So-
and matter of fact, you got a shout out from Ziggy. He is one of our producers on #Hips for Life. He said from one Vera to another. Thank you for your
thank you, bro.
service.
They'll give you a service too, bro.
I am so sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, that's the reason why. When the indie scene happened, and I hate saying indie scene because I really think indies are nothing but territories. It really is, in my opinion. Yeah, it's not one big. I control this part, but it's just smaller territories. Because if we go to DFW, Dallas Fort Worth area, there's 2 major promotions there. Yeah, it's like little small ones, but it's 2 major ones people go to. Like in East Texas, it's like fierce major ones people go to. So I hate the word indie, but it is indies. But when WWE bought WCW, ECW had a stronghold, you had a lot of these smaller guys who were able to move and do stuff. And since they wasn't that big and do a lot of other stuff, they started doing things like Sweet Chin Music, all the high flying moves that's all repetitive, all go over the ropes to get the pop. Because people go crazy when they see a super kick. Because you know what you think of when you see super kick, Shawn Michaels. So people cheer. Now, when you see super kick, it doesn't do anything. When I see somebody get hit with a chair now, it doesn't really do anything to me. Like it's oversaturation, in my opinion. For a lot of things.
Exactly.
And that's my only issue with a lot of stuff in wrestling. Like, I, for one, am a huge AEW supporter. I can say I'm a WWE baby, but I'm an AEW supporter. But it's really hard for me to watch. I watch dark matches because I see guys that I actually like. The Russell Twins was on Dark a couple of weeks ago, and I wrestled them about a month before they were on Dark. Some other people I know, Chad Hopkins, like I see guys I know to get on dark, get opportunity to get on there. And I know a lot of guys, it's like Fuego Del Santo, I know him. Like, it's great to see these guys, but sometimes it's hard for me to watch some things because they still doing things like they're doing on the indie scene, just try to get a pop all the time instead of telling a story. Like, I like storytelling. I'm an old school storyteller. Like, I want to beat you. If I'm going to put you in submission, I want to work that arm and you, because I'm a heel, I want to hurt you and have the crowd want to, if you were face and I'm fighting you, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to pick a body part, destroy it, use your lower back for me, have you limping, have the crowd really want to cheer for you to get back up. Or, like, I remember one match that I was in the outside a couple weeks ago. I was laughing on the ground because I was knocked down. It was a tag team match. It was like a whole brawl thing. And then the kids was like, he's getting back up, talking about me, trying to tell the good guys to watch out. And stuff like that. It's like, I love that because I got over it because now I'm a threat. And most of the time, these people who see me match, like, oh, snap, they see me do a big move. You see my matches. I only do like 3 or 4 real big moves. Other than that, I'm holding down, beat them down. And it's real simple like that. But it gives people attention because I make it look real. I have that facial expression. Even when I'm doing my version of a camel clutch, how I sell it and the person selling it, people really get into it. And that doesn't happen because now these guys are so worried about the next spot. So if you look at some of these matches, they'll be in a hole and they don't really like they're selling it because they're worried about going to whatever top rope move they're about to go or suicide dive. And I know these guys are more experienced, got more above me, but that's my biggest issue. I know we talk about super.
So speaking of issues, what do you think about false finishes?
That's it right there. Does anybody know what the term false finish actually means? What do you think the term false finish means? In your own words.
Well, when you hit someone with a big move and they're not supposed to kick out of it, and then they kick out at 2.5, is that considered a false finish?
Yes, that'd be a false finish. Or
is there another term?
No, that's pretty much it. But most people say about false finishes like this is another way to say if John Cena hit you with attitude adjustment and you kick out, that'd be a false finish too, right? So a lot of people would say there's too many false finishes. What I agree is meaning I know for a fact that there's no such thing as a finisher no more because nothing finishes anybody. Baron Corbin is about the only person that got a real finisher.
That's funny. But somebody kicked out at WrestleMania though.
Yeah, and that's cool. It's supposed to happen every now and then. That's what gets to the shot factor. But if somebody don't kick out, it would not matter until to that point. There's no such thing as finishers half the days because that's why I say there's no such thing as false finish. The stupidest false finish I hate is Seth Rollins' false finish he loves doing. Because now these guys have moves that's meant to be false finishes. So that's why I always think it's a false finish because you're doing this move to be a false finish. Why are you doing a superplex into a Falcon Arrow and the person's kicking out? We all know he's gonna kick out every time. It's not a false finish anymore.
Do you think that should be a finisher? Because that seems like that's a finisher that will take anybody out.
I think it should be a finisher. That's a whole nother topic like I was talking about. But if it happens every time, it's not a false finish. And a lot of these guys, because they're so choreographed, and like I say, I know it's going to be some type of wrestling veteran watching this. I shouldn't be down talking. This is me just talking, understanding what I see. I know I'm not there yet, but I don't. Every time I do a match, I think it's a big move I want to do, but I try to make sure it's something different. If I know they're going to kick out of it, it's something different. Because I don't, and even though I could do the same match every place because I'm always going somewhere different, that's a luxury I have. These guys on TVs know for a fact why. I know I can almost tell a match is going to be what it is because the guys do the same fucking thing every time. Nothing changes up. And that's why I understand how the crowds get so hyped about it. I mean, it's cool to see it in person. That's probably what it is. But if I watch somebody long enough and you do the same thing, I can tell, okay, here comes the so false finish, the same move you do every time that the person kick out. So that's why I said, what's a false finish? Because there's no such thing as false finish anymore because like they do it the same thing.
Or they call it the 5 moves of doom. Or
and the cool thing about the 5 moves of doom is because it's same thing with hot tag. 5 moves of doom was cool if you was good at it. Bret Hart was a master of it because he knew how to interject it and change it up and make you do it. Shawn Michaels did it in an entertaining way by saying you knew these things were coming, and then when somebody kicks out or interrupt, people go, "Oh crap!" because they just waiting for it. So it's if you know how to work it, it works.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta have that mindset in doing it. And a lot of these young guys don't have that mindset because it's about go, go, go.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear these old veterans, and that's why I'm glad about my age. I'm free because I know when I was younger, I was all about go, go, go too. But I'm older and I'm already injured as it is. I don't move that way because I'm trying to wrestle as long as I can because I love doing it.
You 25, right?
35.
I knew that.
I'm 86. I'm 35. I'll be 36 in September. Like I said, I started later than Batista did. Oh,
I mean, Batista was successful. Like,
was.
He got into the business a little bit late, didn't he?
I feel like my character work, once I get my ring work better, I know for a fact if I wanted to go somewhere or have an opportunity somewhere in a couple of years, I know I will have the opportunity. Mm-hmm. I have that much confidence. I'm not even trying to brag about that. I know I need to get better in the ring because I know I need to get better in the ring. That's always going to be important. But my confidence and how I am as my person, I catch people's attention as it is. I already have a good ring presence and I got a character. All that I need to work on is get better in the ring. And one thing I remember hearing, 3 things is presence, ring work, and character, mic work. And in order time, as long as you got 2 of them, you'll be successful.
Speaking of your mic work, let's see some of your mic work. All right, we'll be right back. We're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see Mr. Stone's heel mic work. Be right back.
What's up? What's up, man? Hey, Johnny! First I was looking to see. I'm not Johnny. I'm not Johnny, man. I'm not Johnny. It's Kyle. Yeah. I gave you. Yeah, remember I owed you the money. I got you the money. We're square, right? Like, we're good?
So you're not Johnny?
No.
Fitness 1440?
No, he's not here till tomorrow, man. Like.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
This happens a lot in my line of work. I apologize.
Oh man, awesome. Okay. Man, I thought you were here for me.
Don't mind if I do. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Have a good day.
You too.
Why you playing with me, huh? You should put over here. Get up. Shit! Where you over the money at? Where's the money at? Give me the money. No more. Give me the money right now. Right here. Get out of here. This stupid ass butcher. Playing games with me. Hi. Sorry about that. I was just doing my job. My name is Stonewall REMSON, and I am only the premier assurance agent of professional wrestling. Assurance agent, my ass, simply put, they like to say in life, no one owes you anything. I like to say, everybody owes me. So, if you need debt collection, security, protection, anything you need in professional wrestling, I'm the man to come get. Stonewall REMSON. Don't forget that. Hold up. Hey, Johnny, that's you? I'll bring your old rat tail ass over here. Come here. Whoa. Can't you read? No, I can't hear that knock. You better start knocking before I knock you out.
No.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Stonewall Agency, Assurance Agency. How can I help you?
I was going to say, I heard you dealing with insurance.
Yes, sir. My hands can assure you anything you need, from security, protection, collections, larceny. It doesn't matter. How can I help you?
You pretty much covered everything right there, but I'm pretty sure about this. What are your qualifications?
Qualifications? I got you, sir. Right here. My business license and qualifications. That's cool. Go ahead and open that. Any questions?
Yeah, I'll think about it. Man.
You think about it?
I'll get back to you.
No. See, you gotta understand something. My time's not free. So this ain't no free consultation. So you want to pay me some money for talking to me. Then we can talk more business later. So what you got? Come on.
Oh, man. You take card?
Oh, I'll take card. Anything.
Okay, cool. All right,
Thank you. You can go now. I said go! Love being a businessman.
I just want you to know that you wasn't shit for that. Like, you took his whole entire credit card. You ain't shit, dude. Like, you are really not shit. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Did this man just take my whole entire credit card? Like, he just looked at you like, did this just happen? He was like, oh! I'm like, oh, shit, damn. But no, I loved, that was my favorite clip of you. This is like, wow. Now, did okay, you told me that you are a natural heel, correct?
I feel like I am.
Oh, well, looking at that video, yes, you seem like you're a natural asshole, but you said that you're nice. And that's how I am, because like, I'm just like, people say that I'm a natural heel, like I'm a natural asshole, but like I said, I'm a cool person. So let me ask you this before we go to commercial break. I really want to, like, because right now we're like clocking an hour and 30 minutes or whatever. So if you want to continue with the interview about you, or we can go into wrestling talk, that is totally up to you. But before we go into commercial break, I just want to ask you this. What do you like more, heel or face?
Heel. Heel makes everything work. That's the easiest question to ask.
Well, I mean, I have to ask because a lot of folks, they prefer being, you know what I'm saying, putting on the super cape and, you know, going around and saving everybody. But you, I think I already knew what the answer was, but I just wanted you to entertain that.
Yeah, definitely heel. 100%. Heels make everything work. It wasn't be a heel, be no wrestling.
Yeah, that's true. So I said that this was going to be the last question before we went to commercial break, but I do want to ask you this. So what do you want to contribute as far as wrestling goes? Like, what do you want your legacy to be when you retire? When it's all said and done, what do you want to leave? What do you want to be your biggest impact? What do you want to be the lasting impression for Stonewall?
I want to change how people look at big men. And I'm not talking about just how they work. Because, yeah, you have people like Keith Lee that does amazing athletic things. You got Big Show and Undertaker who do it. But I've never seen somebody, and I don't even consider myself that big because these guys are like, well, Keith Lee's like 6'2" or something like that. But Undertaker, giant, all that, that's tall. Me being 6, and if I wear some lift to my shoes, I'd be like 6'2", whatever. But as a big guy, I've never seen somebody be that entertaining without making themselves look stupid. Like, I can make myself look stupid, have fun with it, but just be entertaining by talking and having that ability to capture people's interest by just words. You look at Big Show, and Big Show's done a lot of entertaining things. Don't get me wrong, I love Big Show, especially when he did the whole show Kesey and all shit like that. But he was always the monster. Same thing with Mark Henry. Mark Henry is one of my influences in ring work wise. But as far as talking and carrying themselves, you never see somebody that big do it. And I want to be that exception. I want to be, because I'm working on, like I said, I'm working on my body. I'm trying to get a little bit bigger, but more muscle defined. I want to be that first person when people say great talkers and like that. I'm one of the first big guys they think about. I love Undertaker, but he wasn't the best talker either. Like,
you think the Undertaker wasn't the best talker?
No, he wasn't. It was pretty much straightforward. And when I say not the best talkers, because yeah, he was good at promos, but it was always, I'm going to beat you up. This is my yard, or I'm dead, man type shit. Simple things.
But don't you gotta agree that, like, you're right about that though. But okay, so but it's the way he intimidates you. Do you think it was?
I mean, yeah, he intimidated. He's great at that. I'm not taking it away. He was great at that. But I also intimidated people too in my clips you see, but it wasn't straightforward like that.
But you was just straight niggerish though, bro, with your shit.
I have fun with it. I'm being me, at least. But that's what I want to do. I want to contribute. Like, I would love to contribute to the fact that people can go in there and don't look at big people as he's going to be a monster. Because that's how I even got typecasted training. They wanted me to be this monster, big guy that just don't talk and destroy people. I don't want to be that. And that's not what I'm going to be. If I had to fight anything, that's one thing. So, I mean, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you really sit there and think about a lot of big men in history and past, they either had managers or they just said threatening things. They were never entertaining as far as, unless they got made fun of about them.
What about Moose? Good question.
Moose is a good big man too, but think about his promos.
like half the time he was talking with his tongue. I mean, he was talking like Sylvester. So like half the time, I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's my point. And if you say good, I'm not talking about being a good big man working. Yeah, there's a lot of big men working. I'm not. Yeah, I want to be I want to be as good as them working, but I feel like, especially when I get more confidence and get more time, because it's just me to spitballing when I do this foremost. I know once I get more confidence in doing it, my promo skills or my shit talking skills are gonna get even better. I feel like that's what my contribution going to be. I want to be one of the best big men that was on the mic. That's what I actually want.
Yeah, because
not that many good big men on the mic.
Yeah, because there's definitely a big gray area where, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, like who actually stands out and you know, you're big, you're athletic, but then also can talk on the mic. There's not a lot of black men, big men, period. Doesn't matter like what color you are, that can really actually talk. You know what? There's actually one person that does stand out. Maybe you might agree. Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, he's very good at he's very good at storytelling, very creative. Yeah. And Bray Wyatt reminds me of Jake the Snake with his the way he does.
That's a very good comparison. Yeah.
So yeah, he's very good, but yeah. I wouldn't say he's the Firefly Firehouse wasn't entertaining, but I would say me and him are different when it comes to that. Yeah, he's great on the mic, and I would always give that. So yeah, he's definitely one of the big men on the mic. So I would like to be after that. But as far as entertainment wise, I think I have it better because I don't really need a manager. I can go talk shit. I can be mad. I can be angry. I can switch anything up and just do everything I got to be at one point in time. Like, I can tell jokes and have everybody laugh at me, and then all of it switch it up and be aggressive. Before I know you got to go cover your break, but I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Kurt Angle. When he first came there, he was told to make himself look like a clown because he could. Why? Because everybody know he could whoop everybody's ass because of his Olympic gold medals. So he was allowed to have a lot more fun and a lot of creative freedom.
He really pissed me off when he first came. I was like, dude, this motherfucker cannot wrestle.
That's what he was supposed to do.
But he turned it up, bro. Like, he turned it up in 2001. I think it was right after maybe we started seeing a glimpse of it, like on the road to WrestleMania with his feud with The Rock. But it's around that summer of 2001, it's like we really start seeing a different Kurt Angle. Like the more vicious and, you know, the wrestling machine type of Kurt Angle.
And it started off with his goofy side too.
Yes, his goofy side was hilarious, dude. Like, I did not think that Kurt Angle had it in him.
That's why I like doing my hey. I actually got that from The Rock one time. Actually, one of the times he came back and he was talking to everybody in the backstage. Like, he saw Big Show, hey, Big Show. Big Show broke his camera, and then he saw Rusev and said, hey. That's why I get that from, Dale. Hey, I love doing that and showing a big smile because I always get told I had a good smile, but I don't smile that much. So I show that big smile. I'm so happy, and then like I think about Freddy Krueger and how he jokes around, and then all of a sudden it just turns to this killer, and that's what goes through my head. So that's why I like doing it. So I showed funny, I can laugh, I joke, and then just go straight beast mode when I got to, and especially when I'm in the ring, I'll talk crap. Like Clubber Lane type shit. Like just
No, I think I think you got a good thing going and be only 35. I mean Diamond Dallas Page, I think he started around your age, if I'm not mistaken. And
he was like 32, 33, but he was a manager first, so he was in the business a little before he actually turned to wrestling.
So I mean, I think that you're still in a good position. Oh, matter of fact, Ziggy, good question. So this is where you can find our special guest tonight. You can find him on Instagram, Stonewall Remson, YouTube, Stonewall Remson, and then the email, stonewallremson@gmail.com. I also will I'll put this on periodically to this evening so you guys can actually see it. And also I'll put it on our I'll put the link on our on the description so you guys can find them. So this has been a very interesting interview, I'm gonna definitely bring you on again. But I'm definitely gonna get into your mind in our second second segment. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break for about 2 minutes or so. We'll be right back, and then we'll come back for round 2, and we will finish talking about WrestleMania Backlash. So yes, we'll be right back. If I can find it. Oh, wait a minute. Is it right here? No, it's not right here. Okay. Wait, is it right here? No. It is right. No, it ain't right there either. It's right here. Okay. We'll be right back.
Hashtag Heels for Life will be back after this brief commercial break.
Pop Michael Jackson.
Hello, I'm Michael Jackson. But of course you know that. And do you know why you know that? Because I'm a celebrity. Now anybody can become famous. Just ask Kato Kalin, Fabio, or the Fat Boys. But it's when you can go years without performing and still be treated like a star that you become a celebrity. And I'll teach you how to do just that in my new video, Maintain the Fame. It's easy. Step 1, become an international superstar. Step 2, send for my new video and learn how to stay in the headlines long after people stop respecting you as an artist. How do you do that? Step 3, to stay a star, be bizarre. Have your penis and buttocks photographed by your local police department. Join a cult. Sell 2,000 tickets to a concert at a 20,000-seat arena, fake a fatal illness, have your wife flown in at gunpoint, and then seem strangely disinterested when she suddenly divorces you. It's fun and it works. But what do I do when people say, Michael, what you're suggesting sounds crazy, insane? I turn to my monkey and I say, Bubbles, you can't be crazy or insane enough if you want to maintain the fame. Remember, the public gets bored so easily. That's why I make sure to change my look constantly. Change your race, change your species, anything you can afford to. But how are people supposed to know about it all? Maybe by having it leaked to the press by a hateful sister whom you've never been photographed with and who has no birth records. Being a star can be hard. Or it could be easy with Maintain the Fame.
To order Michael Jackson's Maintain the Fame video, just press the star key on your telephone and dial 555-01-MJ.
Call now and you'll receive a special bonus video explaining how to arrange your own alien abduction. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the stars.
All right, y'all. We are back. I'm sorry, dude.
Wow, Rebecca.
I love my dude. Look, I love me some fucking Mad TV, bro. Like, Mad
Yeah, that was my
TV
shit, girl.
just oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So we are back for segment 2. We are going to talk about just wrestling in general. So when you were getting your internet together, we were talking a little bit about WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Now, I don't know if you have any plans on watching that. I mean, I'm not. I looked at the card, I'm just like, bro, I'm not really interested.
Only reason I'm watching is because of my son. It's at this point when if I sit down and watch any WWE, like legitimately not. Like I watch clips, but if I watch the whole thing, it's because of my son. That's it. So yeah, I'm watching it this Sunday.
So let's kind of talk about it. So one of the matches that's going to be on there is the SmackDown Women's Championship I Quit match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Do you even think that this is even, in my eyes, bro? I think that like this is like absolutely pointless.
It's pointless, and the reason being it's pointless because it's no real. One is shit. I feel like it's Ronda's fault for one, because she just can't work. I mean, she's getting better at working, but she can't work a crowd worth a damn to make somebody actually care about her, and she doesn't know how to be a heel. I don't know. Ronda is a magnificent athlete, but as far as being a worker in wrestling, it's just hard to make me want to believe and watch her. Mm-hmm. Like, she does better in like short, quick matches and shit like that, but a whole full out drama match with Charlotte, and Charlotte's got to carry her. Mm-hmm. And the build wasn't strong enough, and that's the thing. Like, gimmick matches are too many. There's too many gimmick matches nowadays.
Right.
They should not be an I Quit match right now. Between these are the second time they face 1-on-1. Why are we going straight to an I Quit match?
Yeah, this is
I know they've been in tag team. I mean, they've been in a triple threat. I don't think did they ever fight each other 1-on-1 before?
Yeah, they did. They fought each other at Survivor Series about 3 years
ago.
Yeah,
okay. So this is the third time they did 1-on-1. Mm-hmm. And that was a big time difference. That's how long it's been between there. So I just don't. Yeah, they both got submissions. Okay, cool. That don't really make a call for I Quit match. I just don't see why we're doing an I Quit match.
But if you look at it, bro, like they have a story that they can tell. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes all the way back to like 3 years ago when Charlotte. Charlotte literally beat the living fuck out of her at her first meeting. And it's like they could build off of that. But for some reason, it's like the WWE wants them to do this gimmick match. The only time that you should do an I Quit match is if you guys are in a heated feud. Like, remember like Mankind versus The Rock back in 99? That was a heated feud. That they told a story alone with that. I mean, Mankind was like a heel, but then got turned on by Vince McMahon. The fans, they found sympathy in him. Rock was like on some totally different shit. I mean, that is perfect, especially when you're in a big feud like that.
But you know what? Back then, there was not that many writers like it is now. So remember we talking about that miscommunication? Mm-hmm. That's why it happens. The fact that you said that brings up a good point. Did you know they already fired the same, like, we hear about the releases all the time, but they release writers too. They cycle through writers. So if you have a whole new set of writers that wasn't around when Charlotte and Ronda had their first thing in Survivor Series, and these guys don't really watch wrestling like that, how do you think they're going to carry that same story? Now, if they had the same writers there, yeah, that would have been, back then, WWF used to have stories that lasted 2-3 years because they had the same people that remember shit. There's always writers coming in and out, changing in and out. So if you have a whole group of writers that's changing and they got to come with a new story, they don't know anything, they're not going to go back and watch. And that's why that's the problem with a lot of stories now. I don't mean to go back into what we was talking about, but that's the main reason. That's why
it's all good.
Yeah, but you're right. It shouldn't be an I Quit match. It's no point for it. If they was going to do it, they should have do another match. They want to catch my interest. They should have made a fatal 4-way and throw 2 people in that should have got a chance. So I'd be interested and make those.
It should have been a women's championship match. Like it's a women's championship match, but like you could have like threw in
Rachel Raquel, whatever her name is, or Yuki Gonzalez. And they were her being new in there, as big as she is. If I was writing it, her coming debut, I would have had her make an impact and say this title should be mine, and have her feud with both of them being that. And they all got now. Ronda has to worry about both tall ass Charlotte and this tall ass woman. If you're supposed to make Ronda the face to be sympathy for, have her wreck everybody to just come there. That's her interest. So now does that give her a good interest in the main roster? She don't have to win the title, but this gave her a nice strong interest in the main roster. Beat all these girls up. Now it's a triple threat match. Now you don't know who could win because Ray Krell's already beat up Charlotte, already attacked Ronda from behind, whatever that, and it seems like a real threat. So now it could be any of these 3 women that can win. Boom, now it has some type of excitement versus seeing this same match over again with no build-up for a I Quit match. And I think that's where a lot of these storylines get messed up. They're going for pop value instead of not understanding a real match can actually hold you if you have a reason behind it.
So Ziggy, he said, why was Ronda's first run so much better? It seemed like everyone was more into it versus first time.
But think about how Ronda first came in. So we first got teased about Ronda with The Rock. Then, so it was always teased about her coming in and her interest in it. So everybody was hyped about seeing her come. Then when she came in, you're feuding with Stephanie and Triple H with the tag team with Kurt Angle. That was her first initial doing that. That was a great match. So now we got to see her work and say, oh, we think she could work, not realize she really couldn't. all the way through because it was only short stuff. Then you have all these big name women that was already solidified. You had Nia Jax. And I know people don't like Nia Jax, but at the time I think she was a champion at the time. I think she took the belt from Nia Jax. Yeah, she
was like Nia Jax. You said Nia Jax, right?
Yeah, I think she took the belt from Nia Jax.
Yeah, because like Nia Jax, she only had it for like maybe about 5 seconds, if that.
Yeah, she was pretty much Transil champion. Then she had to took the belt from there, and then you only saw her in pay-per-views. They did the Brock Lesnar special. You really think about Ronda would show up on Raw, we didn't even talk. She would either armbar somebody, and that'd be it, and then you saw her wrestle on pay-per-views. We're seeing her too much. Some people need to be specialty acts, and she needs to be a specialty act. If you really think about it, when you only saw her was when she wrestled certain people in a big match, and she had that brand new fresh feel toy type thing about it. Not really that brand new fresh feel toy no more. And then when Becky blew up, that kind of took a lot of her spill away.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Now you just mentioned that. Yeah, that really took a lot of her momentum because guess what? She was away for like 2 years. She got pregnant.
Becky was basically what Ronda was supposed to be, the new badass. But when Becky got her nose busted open and we started doing the man thing, that killed a lot of Ronda's push.
It did. And it wasn't supposed to, but it just happened. I mean, that's what happened in wrestling. It's like she had an opportunity. It was a very small opportunity. It kind of reminded me of John Cena's opportunity. John Cena was going to get ready to get fired, but he took an opportunity. You know, even though it didn't really work for him, but he took it, he ran with it, and he's one of the biggest of all time. And that's where Becky is right now. And Ronda, she just looks like just another bitch from Tough Enough.
If Ronda didn't have her name, she wouldn't be where she at right now. As far as coming back this second run, she would have been cut, but now she would have been dropped. Like, I feel like Shayna Baszler should have Ronda's spot right now.
Yeah, bro. Like, what's up with that, man? Like, I forecast a lot of great things for Shayna Baszler, and she is like on the bottom of the totem pole. Like, what's going on with this?
It's her look. It's her look. It really is.
Because she looked like a man. Dude, ain't that kind of racist?
Well, prejudice more than anything.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I was just being
it's her look. Like, as much as people hate to say it, this business is about looks. Hell, I get more clients when I'm in better shape looking, even though I got enough knowledge and intelligence to help people out. But if I'm not walking around in the best looking shape, people don't want to hire me to train them. People care about looks.
Wow. That's
it's what it is. If you make it to WWE, you are either a really good looking person, or you're a very imposing looking person, or you got athletic body. Look at everybody in WWE. Almost everybody look like a damn model or have almost a perfect looking body or something like that. There's very few people like Kevin Owens stands out. Of course, obviously, I know everybody's bringing Kevin Owens. Stand aside Kevin Owens, stand aside Otis. 80% of the roster look like they should be in Calvin Klein.
That's another topic for a different day. I'm gonna move on. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. That
storyline could have been good if they gave it more time. And they rushed that. And we saw it we've seen it being rushed from the very fucking beginning. So I'm not interested in that either. And I think a lot it's the writers, and I just think because kids and people have short attention spans. So I don't know. That's probably why.
Maybe it's just both because I really have not been following SmackDown at all. And then the last SmackDown, which was yesterday, last night, they said that was horrible.
I believe it. Believe it. I like Baron Corbin. I actually do. Like, people don't like him, and that's the point. That's why I actually like him. He's one of those classic old school heels, and he makes everything work. But this storyline right there, him fighting, I just don't. They're gonna try to make Madcap Moss a face, and it's not gonna work.
Right. So the next one, Edge versus AJ Styles. Damian Priest is banned from ringside. Honestly, I think this is one of the best feuds that they actually got going on right now.
I do, and that's going to be a great match. Hopefully, I would say hopefully, because sometimes when you got two people that's supposed to make a good match, sometimes it don't work.
Right.
It has happened. But
Right.
that would be one. If I'm me watching it with my son, that's going to be one I'm just going to want to watch because I feel like it's going to be a good match. I don't understand why they're not unifying the damn tag team titles, still doing a triple threat. I mean, a 6-man tag. That makes
Getting to that.
I didn't mean to skip ahead, but I just thought about it. Like,
You're good. No, because that's gonna be that's why I'm leaving that last, because like I know that's gonna be a long discussion about that one. That's like opening up a can of worms. Let me see. Bobby Lashley versus Almost There.
I'm going to watch that because I'm a Bobby Lashley fan. I have always been. Almost There is only there because he is big as shit. I can work better than him, and I think I can't work worse shit. So, I feel like a squash match between me and Bobby would be more entertaining than that. But some people got size, and what is used to be, you can't teach that. So that's what the fuck it is.
Literally. Ziggy, he said, "What do y'all think?" No, we gonna get to that in a second. I need y'all to pipe the fuck down, like for real. We're gonna get to that in a second. Okay, so we went through. Okay, the oh well, I guess it is. It's only like, let's see, 6 man. Wait, 6. No, I think it's like maybe 7 man. Yeah, I think it's 7. Yeah.
Is Bianca wrestling?
Bro, no.
See, what the fuck? That's
that part. Yeah, like so she defended her title when it was down in Nashville, Tennessee. I think this was like maybe about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm thinking that whole contracting thing, I thought that was going to be for Backlash, but apparently not. She's not defending her belt at all.
Oh well.
I don't know why. But yes, now to the main event. The 6-man tag, Bloodline, Roman Reigns, the Usos versus Drew McIntyre, RK Bro. So as I was saying before you came on here, that this was supposed to be a unification match, and Drew McIntyre was supposed to go against Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title. But apparently, Roman Reigns is injured. So all of this is all about Roman. The unification match, I think, is about Roman as well.
I mean, no, everything is going to be about Roman. It's the Bloodlines and it's Roman's thing, but I feel like they don't need to do that. They could have just made the Usos are good workers, even though we've seen RK Bro and Usos 1,000 goddamn times. It would have been a little more exciting if they would have winner take the match. Like, I just don't see the point of. I feel like they're making it about Roman and giving Drew McIntyre some type of TV time.
But really, like, if you really look at it, no one really gives a fuck about Drew.
And that's the writer's fault, too.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the thing. Like, they have opportunity to do so much things, but with Roman taking over and then them trying to make it, oh my God. Drew McIntyre should have definitely be more on top. You had this guy beat Brock Lesnar back when Brock Lesnar was damn near Super Mario beating everybody. You had him eliminate Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, then beat Brock Lesnar, have this whole thing, and then just disappear silently. Like, I mean, I think a feud between him and Bobby Lashley would have been a lot better if it would have went longer and actually had some meat to it. Definitely should never broke the Hurt business up that quick. Like,
what was up with that?
I have no idea. I really don't.
I don't get that. Like, I don't know what, dude. They broke up the Hurt business not once but twice, and twice was even worse because they came out there and with no explanation whatsoever, and then they broke them up again. Like,
it's the stupidest thing in the world. I really think. And it was an opportunity to get Shelton, who just definitely is one of the best workers there sometime, and then Cedric, who's, I do believe, criminally underrated in being worker. Like, I see a lot of Cedric's matches before he got WWE. He's a really good worker. Probably not the best talker.
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. Like, he's him and Shelton Benjamin. It's like they can't talk or shit, but when it comes to in-ring, they are phenomenal. and I think that's why they are not like, you know, where they're supposed to be. Like, I don't even know why Cedric is not even an Intercontinental champion. Like, why he's not like U.S. champion. Sheldon, I don't even know why he's even in the WWE. It's like they bring him somewhere else. I guess he was like pretty big. He was pretty decent when he was in the indie scene, and then when he came back to the WWE, it's just like, what are you doing with your career? Like, what's going on? Like, the best work was when he was in the Hurt Business, and I don't know why they even broke that up. Did he just leave? He just left me here. He said he was in the country, so. Oh, there he is. Okay, because I was feeling some type of way, like when he was.
No, my wife is calling me. I was telling her I'm still doing an interview. I apologize.
No, it's all good. We're gonna kind of. I know we're gonna kind of wrap this up in a few minutes or whatever. But yeah, man, shit, damn, to 2 hours. That's cool. But no, what is your whole? Well, I want to know what your thoughts is about this unification match. Like, why do you think they described this up?
I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't know. I'm trying to get your point of view. You're in the business. You got, like, you literally got a taste of it for, I mean, even though
everything's about selling merchandise and selling tickets and making money. That's all. At the end of the day, it's all it's about. If they win and it is unification, winner takes all, it's because Roman is the biggest money draw they got right now. Bloodline, everything like that is making money. They're selling something like that. So it's all about money. And that's at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, that's what it is. If I can't figure out an answer for you, I'm gonna tell you right there, that's what it's gonna be.
I'll try to get some type of answer out of you though, but yeah,
it's something like I learned from Al Snow, who's a very good he don't get a lot. He's one of those people who don't get respect that I was talking about earlier.
He's not even in the Hall of Fame either.
He should be, because he's a great worker, great teacher. Psychology is fucking amazing. A lot of stuff that you hear me talk about is some shit I learned from him. But as he said one time, if you think about it, what's the best match on the card? Everybody wants to say these elaborate matches that was great, and he was like, no, you're wrong. The best match on the card is the one that brought the most money. Everybody says WrestleMania 3. Everybody says Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man had the best match. Yes, they had the best match. But what the match brought the money in? Hulk Hogan and Andre. That was the best match.
Okay,
most recent example. Do you watch Stone Cold's podcast?
When he has some entertaining guests on, and I'm not talking about Cody either.
Do you watch the one with Bubba Ray? That was a good one.
No, I haven't, but no, see, the thing is with Bubba Ray is so fucking bipolar. Like, half the shit I don't even like. Should I even? I'm serious. You laughing, but I'm serious.
No, you're right. I agree with you on that. But if you watch that, he actually would. You'll see a lot of things I'm talking about. In that interview, he brings that up. We talked about the TLC match. And he was like, their whole purpose was to steal the show. And as Austin joked around saying, but who had the show? It was the Rock and Stone Cold.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to kind of disagree on that one because, well, shit. I mean, I ain't gonna even lie. They were neck and neck.
But I'm just saying the draw was that. The draw was Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
TLC match was so damn good. People always talk about it, but everybody always forget the draw was Rock and Stone Cold.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the best matches usually is. So when it comes to business, money is what's going to make everything happen. All the guys doing great matches is perfect, but they're not going to do as great matches as it was for the people drawing people in. Nobody came there to pay to see TLC. They paid to see The Rock versus Stone Cold.
So you think the Reigns versus...
Everybody's going to see what happens with Reigns if he's going to lose the title, which he's not, and they're going to unify it. That's all it is. It's just a scapegoat. And for young fans, which we got to forget, that's what this is for. It's for younger people now. That's what they care about. Cause that's what my son was begging me, asked me the other day. I want to see if Roman's going to win tag team belts. That's all he cared about. He even said the Usos. He said Roman.
I mean, like the Usos are just basically side bitches. I mean,
I feel like it's so weird that they got tag team belts because it's like they're not. I can't even take them serious anymore. But that's what it is. If you go talk to a kid, that's how you can tell how WWE operates.
They focus on one person. But then this also brings up a point that I'm about to ask you. Do you think that the WWE has really put themselves like, you know, they put themselves on the back of the, I mean, they put their back against the wall because they're circling their whole show, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, about one person. I mean, because if you really look at it, it affects Raw as well. This was supposed to be a unification match. This wasn't about Roman breaking his balls or some type of shit. This wasn't about him.
I say yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because yes, because the obviously is around that person and it shouldn't be. But no, because well, hell, all right, I can't. All right, let me go. I'm trying to get short when the answers I can. All right, here's what I'm gonna break it down with.
No, break it down. No, break it down for us because I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Roman is the top guy. He is the top guy. Only person that be top over Roman, and he's not even there no more. And when he could was Brock Lesnar. They tried Drew McIntyre, and they could have if they would have kept him strong, and they didn't. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot with there, and they're trying to bring him back up by saying, "Hey, remember Drew McIntyre did this?" type thing. Instead of keeping him strong on two different shows. Right. And if it was smart, they would have had them both strong on both shows. And like when they fought Survivor Series, should have been like a no DQ, no disqualification. Like it should not have been a clear cut winner. Mm-hmm. So when this would have happened, it would have had more of a strong feel. Like I still think Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre should have been a WrestleMania type thing. But that's here and there. If you look at it back in the day, it's always been one person. That's why The Rock and Stone Cold was special because The Rock wasn't supposed to be that person. It was always supposed to be Stone Cold.
But see what happened with Stone Cold because he, you know, and oh yeah, damn. You know what? We'll do that on our final thoughts because I really want to ask you that. He got injured because of Owen Hart.
Which is but The Rock was already on top. He was already on top.
Yeah. But like, I mean, like for like maybe about 2 years or so before that injury, Stone Cold was on top. But then, you know, Rock came in and like really steered the boat.
He was not supposed to happen. It was not supposed to happen. That's what made it so special. You had two number one guys. The business never has two number one guys. Even with Hulk Hogan on top. Yeah, you had Macho Man and all that shit like that, but it was always Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. It never had two number one guys. John Cena was cool. You had Randy Orton, but Randy Orton was never John Cena level. Randy Orton was always that heel for it, but you never had two guys. They had an opportunity, and it's the writers and how they market it instead of making shit organic. Like Daniel Bryan was the last organic thing in WWE, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was.
But they had a chance to have two top guys, Drew McIntyre and Roman. And they made Drew McIntyre where he is and then brought him back down. Like, I feel bad for Drew. I'm happy about Roman because they let Roman be Roman finally, and that's why he's fucking ultra over. They would have did that a long time ago. He would have been on top a lot longer to where he is now.
Right.
So that's the issue. Like, Roman is always going to be one big guy that's always going to circle around. The problem is because it's two different shows. Mm-hmm. And like they got this rope by saying Fox don't want to unify the titles. That's the whole corporate thing too. That's what I'm more confused about that because Fox has their own idea for the championship. USA got their own idea for the championship. So eventually Roman's going to lose that belt. And they're not going to hold it for long because eventually Fox is going to complain about it. Why is Roman on this one when he should be on ours? Or USA is going to complain about that shit. So Roman's playing double duty because he's that big name. But if they do that with the tag team belts, I guarantee you they're going to get rid of it. It's not going to last. So I don't know what's going to happen. But Roman being on top on both shows, that's only going to last for so long.
Dude, this shit is making my fucking hair hurt. I mean, I appreciate you breaking this shit down. This shit is just really mad confusing because, like, why the fuck would you even want to try to even unify the belts knowing that the networks was going to have issues with this?
It's a tease. They got a little freedom. Roman's going to lose the other belt eventually. And I don't think it's going to be Cody because that seems too obvious.
I mean, there's no one that's there.
It should be, but like, here's my thing: like, if you gonna have them lose it, how you gonna have them lose it? Because now it's gonna be stupid.
Again, they put themselves in a bad position because now you got to figure out, okay, nigga, you got 2 fucking belts on 2 different shows. How are you going to take the belt off? The only way that you can do that is put him in a triple threat match. So then that way he'll still look strong.
No, I think that's all that's going to happen. I would love it for it to happen the way it happened with Kurt Angle when he lost both his titles against Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit. That would be cool. I don't know if you remember that. It happened at WrestleMania 16.
Oh, yeah, 15. Yeah, WrestleMania 2000. Yeah.
He had the Intercontinental and the European.
And
it was a triple threat match. And I think Chris Jericho pinned him for the European and Chris Benoit pinned him for the Intercontinental. He got pinned twice in that triple threat and got that belt, both belts taken.
Yeah, they don't do those type of matches anymore.
And that's why they didn't bring it back, because it would look cool. Like the fact that how they build, I hate Gunther's name, but Walter, how they build Walter up right now.
Yeah, that's
old school way you're supposed to do it. And I hope they don't fuck it up. And I feel like Vince personally said, like, I want Walter to be built. Because sometimes I can tell when Vince just goes there, like, yeah, I want him, and nothing happens. Like Austin Theory. That's definitely Vince McMahon's fucking pet project.
Dude, I'm sorry, but when he did that smiley face, like, man, I still have like nightmares, bro. I'm serious, like that. I still got, like motherfucker up there looking like it and shit. Pennyworth. Shit.
I still thought that was Photoshop. I know it's not, but I still fucking think
that smile was not fucking Photoshop. That meant, how the fuck you gonna be like fucking what, 22 and got baby teeth and shit and looking? Ugh, dude, I don't even want to talk about that shit. Anyway, let's see. Walter was already built in NXT UK.
It doesn't count in fucking SmackDown. That's what I see. That's another thing these fans, and I don't mean disrespectful. Carmichael. You gotta understand, in the ideas of the head people in WWE, Vince, John Laurinaitis, always top wigs. WWE UK or NXT UK, NXT 2.0 and whatever fuck, all the little shit don't mean shit compared to SmackDown and Raw. All that's little league. As far as they're concerned, that shit's like where I'm wrestling right now. So them being built there does not mean a damn thing. Them being on SmackDown, built on SmackDown Raw. So I wish people would understand that. That's why their names get changed when things happen. Whatever happened on NXT does not fucking matter no more once they get on the main roster.
But I mean, don't they kind of tie into the storylines or whatever? Because
it should, and it would make more sense if it did. But no, that should. The last time NXT tied into a storyline that big, besides when you see the main rosters go over there like Dolph Ziggler like that, is when Kevin Owens debuted, and he was going back and forth. After that, no, unless a main roster guy goes down there and do a little storyline NXT and then leaves, that's it. I was surprised they brought Braun Breaker on Raw. You say KO versus Sami Zayn, they were on. They did in NXT and they did in there. Yeah, they talked about the past, but did anybody? I'm telling you the truth. They don't give a fuck about NXT. The main people who runs Raw and SmackDown.
But it's
that's why they made it 2. That's why they made it 2.0. When Triple H got sick, they kicked him out. They went back there and changed shit for a reason.
But it was retarded.
But that's proves to you how much they don't give a fuck about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But you don't give a fuck about it. But you rebrand it. You
for their own. For their own.
But bro, this is in your company. How the fuck can you say that you don't give a fuck about it, but yet you break your neck to rebrand it?
Triple H turned a development brand to his own identity and so-called following, and he did a fucking fantastic, amazing job. I was watching NXT, and I wasn't even watching WWE SmackDown. I
feel you. I was the same way.
That's all it was supposed to be a development brand to get people ready for TV. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got lucky to wrestle in front of hard cams. A lot of guys who especially come from the indies don't know how to wrestle in front of a camera. There's a lot of things. Remember, I told you about, you got to slow some stuff down. You got to be able to move a certain way. This fast-paced shit don't fucking work because a crowd can't see everything. The camera can't pick everything up. So you got to show facial expressions, look at the camera, do things like that. So NXT was made to learn how to work in front of a crowd, how to work in front of a camera. That's how it was originally started to go. And then it got popular moving to get people ready to go to the main roster. So when it got so popular, it became to compete. it was focused on that, and they was bringing big names to work on it. Then
now, that presents a problem.
Yeah, shit like that happens. I remember when that happened. I was surprised when that happened too. It was actually fucking funny because she was down there training with us, and they said I'm about to go back. They said they got a new storyline for me, and then she got a tag team. And she was surprised as fuck about it. I remember that. But she actually liked that tag team. Ember Moon was also used to help get these guys ready as well. So she was still down there to get people ready. So Shotzi Blackheart, she helped get them ready for TV. Like, people don't realize it's a different beast going to SmackDown and Raw. It is still the big fucking show. It's a lot that goes into production, the timing, the planning. It is a big show for a reason. So may not be fan of the storylines like I'm not, but I do know it is a different beast going to that show. And a lot of these guys ain't ready. That's why they went to NXT. You notice how NXT 2.0 Kyle looks more like Raw and SmackDown now with all the extra colors.
Yeah, with all them bright lights and shit looking like a PBS special. Yeah.
That's the reason, to get these guys ready for the big lights, for a reason. To get these unrealistic over the top characters to go there. NXT 2.0 used to have NXT that we grew up on, we like had realistic characters, people we believed in could get behind. Now you got these superhero, stupid ass characters, all these things like that. Like, that's because that's what the fuck they do.
Right.
That's always been what they do. So it's getting it ready. So I just wish people would stop getting mad about NXT, not realizing that's what NXT was supposed to be. Yeah, we knew it became something more, but the original purpose of NXT was development.
I mean, but Triple H did a damn good job, bro.
He did, and I feel bad for Triple H. I wouldn't be surprised. I know he's not. But if Triple H went to AEW, I wouldn't be surprised with how they fucked him over.
Yeah.
But he knows it's a business, and he knows Vince McMahon's the type of person that would shit on his own grandkids if it made business sense.
Facts. Yes, I don't disagree with that, because like Vince, I think Vince McMahon is
what makes him successful. Tony is a good person. Like Tony Khan, I remember hearing this before. Tony Khan's a great person, but he's not the best businessman. To be a good businessman, you got to be heartless sometimes. Tony is a very nice, friendly person.
Yeah, he wants to be friendly to everybody, but you got to understand, like, business can be cutthroat as well.
Yeah, and Tony don't have that in him.
No, he don't. And I think that's... So let me ask you this before we go on to our final thoughts. So... Tony is a good booker. You know, sometimes he makes some questionable decisions, but overall, I think he's a good booker. But long term, do you think he's going to last another 5 years in this?
If he starts getting stricter and actually pay attention to shit and stop listening to other people, yes. And that's the thing that's going to piss people off. And that's what, for him to be successful, he's going to piss people off. As much as you complain about Vince and his stories, they're still going. You can't make everybody happy for business decisions. As much as he made bad business decisions, he's also made some good ones that we can't argue about with some certain people and certain things. Tony, he's already started making some smart decisions that's making some people bad, because he's letting some people go that should not have been there, in my opinion, in the first place. And some people that like saying, because people like for instance, Jungle Boy. I'm sorry, that man should not have been there to begin with.
Jungle Boy?
Here's the reason why I say that.
Don't be disrespectful now, because Jungle Boy is one of my favorite characters.
But I'm not going to believe he can beat me in real life or on wrestling. That's the reason why. It's a believability factor.
I think you're being a dick right now.
I'm being honest. If I don't think Jungle Boy can beat you. Like, if you, he's probably a great person, but like, come on now. There's some people that's not been there. Like, you have to realize when you get to a certain level, you got to look apart. I played football a lot of my life. When I got told I was too short to play on the line, I got to do something else. That shit hurt my feelings, but it's the fucking truth. Physical attributes matter, and I'm not gonna believe Jungle Boy is gonna beat my ass or anybody's ass in there. If Jungle Boy look like my 13-year-old daughter, the same size, no. Damn. So that's what I'm thinking, like that.
Okay, so what happened if he built some muscle? Would you believe him?
You got to build some muscle. Jungle Boy could be the ultimate face, as means sympathy. Like, give him one opportunity to win some type of small belt, and people will get behind him. Remember Zach Gowen? when he got his ass whooped by.
Dude, why the fuck you keep reading my mind? Because I was gonna talk about him when we was talking about Brock Lesnar. Man, that motherfucker got his ass whooped so damn bad, and then had the audacity to forward that same video from 20 years ago when he got his ass whooped by Brock Lesnar.
But remember when he finally got? I can't remember how it happened, but he got his payback against Vince McMahon on his leg. The crowd went crazy.
Yeah,
that's why I would do Jungle Boy. I would book him to get his ass beaten when he finally got his goddamn comeuppance. That would get the biggest fucking pop. But realistically, yes, I'm gonna whoop Jungle Boy's ass. You are not. If they had me book a match against Jungle, and that's what I think. A lot of these guys are too friendly on indie wrestlers. Like I even told a person before, like, "Hey, we're gonna do this for a shine. You're gonna take a bump." I'm like, "No, I'm not bumping." It's like, why are you not bumping? Because you weigh 135 pounds and you're gonna hit me with an elbow off the rope, and I'm gonna bump off of that. No. I told him, like, here's the thing. I was gonna lose. I will fucking lose. If I lose every match, I will lose every match. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not gonna let you. It's not gonna be stupid. It's gonna be realistic. Like you're gonna have to do something to make me bump. Like I said, if you want to take my knee down and then hit me, then I'll fall. But yeah, unless you fucking almost my size or some shit, like if you 100-something pounds, you're not gonna bump me. You better. And if you do bump me, here's the reason why. Because when you finally do bump me, people will go crazy because the whole time you saw me never fall, and you finally got me down and do it. So the psychology behind it and fucking common sense. But that's what a lot of these indie guys forget. I'm seeing 125-pound people knocking down people who weigh 280 pounds. Why? Why are we seeing this? Why?
I mean, it's not like that. We're playing, SmackDown versus.
Exactly. Why is Powerhouse Hobbs? Me and him about the same size. He should not be bumping for half these people he's bumping for.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest issue with him. And I don't know that's either Tony's booking or who's doing that, but somebody needs to get to him.
Yeah. So what do you think about Hobbs when we're on the discussion?
I like Hobbs, but I just think he's selling himself short
though. Yeah. Huh? So you think he being sell pretty short?
Yeah.
In AEW right now?
What was that? It was a tag team match a couple of weeks ago with AEW. It was him and Starks against was it the Gun Club or somebody? I can't remember who the fuck it was, but he was getting his ass whooped every time he got in the ring. But Starks was doing all the shit like that. Like, no, that should not fucking where I be. Almost every time I see Hobbs anywhere, he's the main one getting all the damage while everybody else gets the comeuppance.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. And usually what happens is if he's the green one, the green ones usually, especially if you're big, you'll do the damage and let the person who knows how to work sell until you get better at how to work it.
A lot of people are thinking that it's Tony Khan's booking, and I think it's Tony Khan booking as well, because there's like no way.
Well, booking, here's the thing how booking's supposed to go. It's supposed to give you like, I want this happen, but after the match itself, it's supposed to be between the wrestlers. So let's say me and you got a match, right? And we're supposed to be building a storyline up to some big thing. Let's say we're supposed to build to a street fight. So the match is, hey, we want you guys to go here. We want Chris to get a lot of sympathy. So Remy, we want you to really get on him. But Chris is going to pull it out somehow, and then you hit him with a chair. That's it. We figure out how the fuck we do it. But we just know it's supposed to have me hitting you with a chair and getting you some sympathy. That's it. So now we plan the match out. So unless Tony's actually telling him exactly what's going on, he's doing that shit to himself. And he's trying to be nice, listen to all these people telling him, like, you got to be an asshole. I tell motherfuckers who've been senior to me, like, I'm not doing that. And they tell me they don't want to do something, I do it. Hey, cool. Because I'm not doing that either. Like, they can tell me no, and I'm going to tell them no. Like I said, you have to work together. So I'm not going to sit up here. Now, if somebody tell me they want to do this, and I think it's stupid, but they can tell me a good reason why, bet, we go ahead and go. But if it's just you want to do it and you think I'm supposed to just let that shit go and not do anything, like, no. And if I tell you, I had to do this shit at one time because I said, like, hey, sell my shit, because as big as I am, I shouldn't be hitting you multiple times. Nobody didn't want to sell us, so I really clubbed the fuck out his ass. he fucking sold that time. Like, you have to be, because you got to remember, this. You as a wrestler, you are a brand. I'm a brand. This is my business, who I am, how I represent myself when I do in that ring. I respect that. So I'm not gonna be an asshole. If I would lose every match for the rest of my life, I mean, I'm getting paid, that's all that matters. I wouldn't care. But I'm not gonna be the one losing my match because of somebody who weighs 130 pounds bucks away. Suplex me. I hate when you keep bringing that shit up because I mean, it makes sense. I'm like, how the fuck can you lose to somebody that is like? Oh, they would hate me in AEW. They would fucking hate me in AEW. They would. I would love the opportunity. Yes, your image is on the line.
you getting beat by someone that is like 100 pounds like lighter than you. It's like, what? Like, how can you? How can that be believable? That's like Rey Mysterio beating you in a street fight, like on SmackDown versus Raw or some type of shit. Like that just, it's not believable at all.
I mean, we can find a way to make it work, but it's not going to happen the way these matches be happening.
Yeah.
Like I said, my matches catches people's excitement by saying, "Oh shit" type thing. Mine's not like, "Oh, holy, oh, this is awesome." I don't have no "this is awesome" things. My shit is, I'm trying to hurt this motherfucker, and you be like, "Oh shit!" Like, when I do that club to the chest, that catches people's attention because they hear that shit and how hard I hit them. When I'm grabbing somebody, using my strength and slamming them fuck down, you hear that fucking board slap. That's my shit. Like, that's just my mentality, and that's what I feel like. I would love to go AEW. I think on one of these days, I'm going to try to reach out because I have the email to get on Dark. I'm going to give myself some time to get more experience under my belt, so hopefully next year. But if they have me go get somebody on Dark and they're not my size, or at least 200 some pounds more, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll be brought back on AEW again because I'm not going to go just get my ass whooped by some random person like that. I'll lose like I'm supposed to, but it's not going to be no fucking what's that, squash match. They better put me against Lance Archer and they want to squash.
I mean that would be cool. Yeah, because like I think Lance Archer is like what 6'6", 6'7".
Oh yeah, that mother tall as shit.
Yeah. So
that's why I be feeling small as shit when I'm around people that high. I be like, the funny thing is I be like almost the same size mass wise. It's just the height difference. I am short.
Ziggy said that if you ever make it to AEW Dark, it's gonna be Hobbs versus Stonewall next year.
I would love to fight Powerhouse Hobbs. I get compared to him a lot. Even before I even get there, it's like just
because like your body size is like because you guys are like almost the same. It's just the thing is like you said, I don't know why is he not in that upper echelon or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't even say that he's like that green now, like because he's been
wrestling well. He was actually on MLW for a while too. People don't forget about that. Like,
wasn't he on Hog too?
Yeah, he's been wrestling for about 5 to 6 years now. He's not green.
That green.
And usually about the 5-6 year mark is when you start hitting your stride. Like, I don't understand why he's doing this. And he's not the only one. I see a lot of big guys in general take more bumps than they should. Like, bumps hurt for one. As bigger you are, it's going to hurt more. And the bigger you are, it's going to sound louder. I take a lot of bumps in training and I be in pain, but I love doing matches because I'm not going to take that many bumps. This last match you saw where I do the most punches, that's the most bumps I took because he weighs 240 pounds. So I made him work for some of those bumps, but he still got me down. You look at the matches before that, you rarely see me take a bump. Unless it was a tag team move or shaking my knee out, something like that. It had a reason behind it. These big guys now, and I know you got to tell the story, but I think it's just lazy thinking because that's what not make it believable no more. That's why people just look for all the high acrobatic stuff because they know it's not believable. I want to make it believable. So that's a question you asked me about. I want to be the person that's the first big man that's really entertaining on the mic by himself, and also want to be the person that makes the shit believable again. That's what I know. I got a long way to go because I'm still green in the ring and getting my shit on, but yeah, I want to make shit believable.
Yeah, I mean, you might got a long way to go, but like I'm just really thinking that you're gonna really stand out, like, you know, in the wrestling scene because of your determination and like you have a goal and you're willing to work hard for that. So yeah, I would say just keep doing your thing and you know you'll do fine. So
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no problem. So everyone, we're gonna go into final thoughts. This is our last topic, and this one is really going to get people really to talk because this is an issue that a lot of fans wants to be toxic, but then also it's also debatable as well. This brings us to our main topic this evening. Let me just change. Give me 1 second. Okay. So This is our topic for the evening. Let me just bring this up. All right. So, what do you guys think about the Owen Hart being in the new AEW game, but has absolutely nothing to do with the WWE? What do you guys think?
What?
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean,
that's the Hart family being petty. That's being petty. That's all that is.
No, this came from a fan. This came from a fan.
I know. I'm not saying that part. I'm talking about if that's actually true, because you know his wife's in charge of his whole estate and all that shit like that.
Exactly.
That's his wife being petty. That's exactly what the fuck that is. I don't care.
You think so?
Else. That's that. Because his wife don't want anything Owen Hart doing with WWE at all. Because you know his wife hates WWF.
But don't she? Okay.
But she lets everything, any other business say Owen Hart, she's good with it. It's not them. So them putting him in a video game, that's just being petty in my opinion. They already got Owen Hart International the tournament shit. Like, that's just being petty. And I mean, I'm glad he's gonna have Owen Hart in the game. Like, he hasn't been in the game since fucking Raw is War in '97 in PlayStation, I think.
Ooh.
I think it's the last time he's in the video game.
Yeah, Attitude Era. Yeah, the Attitude.
So I'm happy about it, but I don't care. That's just pettiness. That's all it is.
I mean, can we really, bro? Can we really say that she's being petty? I mean,
MLW had a video game come out, and that many people know about MLW and say, "I want to put Owen Hart in it." She would have did it. I guarantee you.
No, I think it's you that's just being petty. But okay. Like, no lie, like, this is a company that killed her husband.
No, I agree. And no, I'm understanding her pettiness. There's always pettiness. Always have a reason. You can't just be petty just to be petty. You always have a reason to be petty. Especially
do you think this is actually being petty? I think she just like you said. I think
it's
like
a direct competition.
Hate the WWE.
She does legit hate the company. It's a direct competition. It's direct competition. They know people gonna buy the game now just to play for Owen Hart because it's gonna be older fans that want to do it. I want to get the game now just to see how Owen Hart fucking wrestles. I had no intention of buying that game because I really don't play wrestling games like that. Every now and then I do, but that's not a big deal to me. I want to get it now just because of that reason, just to see it. I look at things differently than most people. Everybody look at things at face value. I always look at there's always a story behind everything. And I think they're being petty. I just think it's being. I don't think it's being petty as far as she intentionally did that, but I know she's secretly like, yeah, and she know WWE competition with games that like she just that makes sense. I don't know. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but that's funny.
No, I think that was a good explanation. This is, I just really feel that now like with the other part or whatever about Owen Hart not being in the WWE, I don't think that has like really anything to do with it, because if you really look at the whole situation, like, why should I put my deceased husband in a company game in my former or in my husband's former? Yeah, because like it just shit just doesn't make any sense.
Every right not to do that, and I understand why. I just find it funny because it's just random, and I just don't. All I'm trying to say is it may not be a petty reason why she did it, and AEW is trying to honor the Harts and all that stuff like that. And I 100% believe that's the good nature value behind it. I do believe it. But you cannot sit here and tell me at some point in her mind she's not laughing because she knows Owen Hart's in this game and WWE was trying to get him for the longest time, and she gave it to Owen Hart. Hell, she probably didn't even ask for money. She probably let her just do it for free. And I know I'm just spitballing shit.
I think you speaking facts, dude, because like WWE and its fans wanted I'm about to say Hulk Hogan, wanted Owen Hart in the game for like the longest, absolute longest. But me, because based on the situation, I would feel kind of funny him being in a WWE game anyway, because like I said, the WWE killed Owen Hart.
Oh, no,
and then to make it matters worse, like Ziggy just said, like Dark Side of the Ring literally broke the shit down, like to the point like I'm like, I've been really upset with the WWE for the longest because
Now,
of that
be
shit.
careful with Dark Side of the Ring now, because there's been multiple. Even RVD came on and said that they do edit shit to make, and it's drama. It's always gonna be drama. So
you know what, bro, they didn't start saying that shit until the plane ride. Then motherfuckers want to come out and talk about, no, it was edited. No, I didn't say that.
I didn't believe any of it until Jim Ross said it. And the only reason I believe Jim Ross is because Jim Ross is one of those people who don't give a fuck and will say what the hell he wants to say, regardless. And he's always been that way. That's why he's always been fired by WWF so many damn times, because he always will speak up and say that's fucking stupid and get fired, and then come back and say it's stupid and get fired again. So when Jim Ross said it, that's what made me believe it. But no, I 100% right. I wouldn't expect him to go there. I guess I'm making a joke out of a situation that I feel like it's a small joke in there that's possibly true. But no, I think it's a good look. I feel like he should be honored. I'm excited to play. Hell, I'd be interested to see what type of moveset they have. I'm actually interested in the AEW game, period, because they've been talking about this game for 2 years now. So
yeah, they have. They just seen we just seen some footage on Wednesday, and the footage, I would have thought, like, you know what I'm saying, because like when it came out in like 2020, the beta version, is like we seen the same shit when they came out with the, you know, with the rest of the shit. The graphics looks a little 2000, like WWE 2K.
I will be okay with the graphics if it gives me more in-depth storylines and creative moves. Like, I miss being able to create a fucking finisher. If it gives me more shit to do,
yeah,
the graphics. Like, that's why people don't realize graphics take a lot to do graphics. So usually, if you got great graphics, it does take away for something else. Yeah. So I'd rather have okay graphics, but able to do a lot more. And I think that's what they may be shooting for. How hard they're fighting for it. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's what's going to end up being. Like, you be able to do so much shit with this game, and graphics aside.
So we got one last question for you, sir. Random question.
Okay, I do not have. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to read it?
No. I can read it. So random final question to ask Stonewall. What is your wrestling finisher move?
So if you've been listening, a finishing move is something you always finish a person with every time. So I don't really have an established finishing move per se yet. I have a few moves that I like using to try to end. So far I like using a Oklahoma Stampede, which I like to call a Stonewall Stampede, which is I just get somebody to power slam, hold, run into a turnbuckle, and then power slam them down. I also like using a Abdominal Stretch, because that's a move that I feel like should be... the Abdominal Stretch is kind of like my version of Bobby Lashley's Hurt Lock. It's an old classic move that not many people use that much. So I love using Abdominal Stretch. I used it last time in my last match at the end. And I like using a power bomb or something like that. So I don't have a set finishing move yet per se, because I haven't really got an established character yet. So that's
Cool. Well, buddy, thank you so much for this interview. You really gave me and my audience a lot of content, because at first I was just like, oh my God, he's green. I don't know what to ask him. But like I said, the conversation flowed, and like you really taught me a lot this evening. So you are more than welcome to come back and tell us how you're progressing, and hopefully I'll have my team with me to make this more interesting. But I really did this interview. But so once again, everyone, if you want to follow Stonewall Remson, go to his Instagram, his YouTube. Also, if you want to email him for interviews or work, you know.
If you follow my Facebook, my Instagram, you can add me. I'll talk to anybody. I'm not famous, so it's not like I'm gonna ignore anybody. So I'll talk to anybody. If anybody watching this, if you don't mind me saying this, if you have a promotion in your area, your city, that you would like to see me come in and do my thing, share it, talk about it, share my matches. I started putting music videos in, clipping my matches, because I know a lot of people don't want to sit there and watch people they don't know, but they'll watch if they listen to music. I found that out. So share my stuff to other people you know. The more people that know about me gives me more chances to get out there. As far as it goes down, publicity and popularity gets you more work. So if you guys like me and want to see me more of me, share my stuff, follow my YouTube, my Instagram, and just start bugging people that if you know there's a rest promotion in your town, bug them about me coming and I will travel. I'm going to Arkansas next month, in Georgia the month after that, and I'm trying to get to more cities and more states. So if you like me and you want to see me in person or see me talk shit in person, outside of me being nice right now, just grab me on and bring me out. Thank you.
Cool.
I very much enjoyed this. This was fun.
Yeah, no, most definitely. You can see like in my background started getting really dark.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, everybody. So everybody, once again, Stonewall, thank you so much for coming on to next week. Whoa, wait. Yeah, damn. I'm getting into next week. Okay, tomorrow, everybody, I don't know. Really all depends. Might watch it. Might watch it, might not watch it. If I do, I'll notify you guys and let you guys know if we have a review. If not, I will see you guys next week for episode 77. Until that time, I'm your host, Mr. Team Bring It. This is our special guest this week, Mr. Stonewall Remson. And we will see you guys. Well, you'll see me next week. Remson, hopefully he'll come back for another episode, hopefully. But until that time, you guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy Mother's Day, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Bye, y'all. Thank you again.
No problem.